Hello. Good evening and welcome. It's Friday, which means it's episode 33 of Cometh the Fall, Biohazard. How's it going, folks? Welcome. Hello, ProStar, Zebus, Sparks, Idis, Tatsuya, Silent Wolfie, Zoro Crusader, Just a Sad Lurker, Baxter. Hello. Sparks, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. You shouldn't do that. Meow to do, Baxter. Hello, Varus. I should say I'm incredibly excited. I've been working on this maps for just under a week, and I've been very inspired by some recent things that my players have said. So I'm very excited. And I hope that my excitement is portrayed well enough through storytelling and I don't fumble or sort of fall over myself all too well. So here's to having a very good session, and I hope that my players enjoyed as well. There was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that went into this dungeon. I personally think this is my best dungeon yet, but we'll see what my players think. Devil Lulu Purge, hello. Hyped on Red Bull? Hell yeah, I'm hyped on NOS, so I'm right there with you. Hello, Felipe. How's it going? Sparks. Sparks, stop giving me money. You're a player. The content is free. For chat, the content is free. Do not feel obligated to subscribe, donate, whatever. Just you being here is more than enough, and I am deeply appreciative of every person that shows up to watch the games. So thank you very much. The content is not emotionally free. Pray for my players. They're gonna need it. Entertain you? Well, I hope to do so with this dungeon and all of the fun stuff within. I'm very excited. So the darkest dungeon is your best dungeon? Well, there's a bit of a name change, Just a Sad Lurker. We'll acknowledge that when the session starts. The darkest dungeon was more of a meme. It wasn't the dungeon's true name. So. I agree, Gaming Void. It's going to be a great episode. I'm incredibly excited. We're waiting for one of our players to show up. We're going to let them get situated, and then we're going to hop right in. We're going to get our introductions out of the way, and I'm very tempted to do the recount just so we can get into the fun right away. I'm very tempted to do that. The tanking of a ladle. Ding, 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 ding. Get in. Get in. You hear evil in that voice? No. No. Sizzle, I've literally only been thinking about this for the whole week. The only time I stopped thinking about this was when I went to Brett's Session 0. Every other day has just been this. Has just been me thinking about this goddamn dungeon. No, have a little more faith in yourself. Come on. The strobing light while getting dragged into the pot. Very true. A very high likelihood there. There will be plenty of emotional damage. We will definitely see that. Horrifying. For the players in my game, if you are here currently, please make sure that you are playing with audio. There are some ambient sounds which will key you in to certain things. Make sure that you are listening to the game. But I make creepy noises and I'm all in the dark. Sorry, I can't help you there. Whoa! Hello, Raiders. Good evening and welcome. Hello, Momo. Thank you for the raid. Thank you for trusting me with all of these lovely chatters. Hello, everybody. Welcome. I'm the Crown DM. If you've never heard of me, I am a 5th edition Dungeon Master here on Twitch. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I run all of my games in the homebrew world of Adis. If you are interested, you come to the right place. Before D&D people. Good, yes, please, go to the restroom before we begin. You will definitely not want to be nervous, Momo. Hello, everybody. It's episode 33 of our game here every Friday called Biohazard. That's the episode title for tonight. I hope you're ready. Jesus. Oh boy. Let's see. Thank you everybody for the follow as well. It's very kind of you. Wolfmaster, thank you very much for the 9 months. Jesus, 9 months. You've been here for forever. Guido, thank you as well for the 9 months. I appreciate that. EMC, thank you as well for the 9 months. Everybody re-upping their subs, that's incredibly kind of you. Thank you. And Sparks, thank you very much for the bits. I appreciate that. If you're interested in Dungeons and Dragons, learning more about map creation, learning about monster making and the likes, you've come to the right place. Did you hear about the new book from D&D Beyond? There are several books. If you're talking about the new supplement or the playtest, for what is effectively D&D 5.5, yes. I read through some of it. It is very interesting. It has a lot of new stuff, but it also adds a lot of very quirky mechanics. Spells not being able to crit, monsters not being able to crit, certain effects like smite, sneak attack, hunter's mark. It's very interesting, the sort of path that they're going, as well as backgrounds giving a feat and certain like ASI bonuses. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it yet. On top of that, it's also still a playtest, so none of my opinions are concrete or set in stone because the book itself is not set in stone. It's a playtest. So we have plenty of time to give WotC our feedback and sort of go from there and tell everybody how you feel about it. I'm definitely very interested in a lot of the cool stuff that they added. There are definitely a lot of very cool mechanics that they plan to implement. So that'll be fun. Yes, 1D&D. I'm also very interested in their VTT/map maker because I am a map making fiend. I love making maps. So another program out there in the world is very interesting. I hope, fingers crossed, hands pressed together, pray that the VTT is actually good. Wait, but I want my sneak attack to crit? I agree. The sneak attack should be able to crit, but they decided that it won't. Indeed, on the 31st, I will be playing in Brett Ultimus's game, and I will be a player, which is very exciting. And I'll be playing with Momo, which is even more exciting. We've sort of written our characters together, like our backstories, and sort of worked them into each other, so that way we know each other, we're friends, and everything like that. It's going to be very fun. I'm very excited to play this character. Okay. I'm incredibly excited, so I'm going to unmute. We're going to hop over. We're going to meet our players, get introduced to them, get a little introduction about all the characters. I'm going to be doing the recount, and then we're going to go from there. Does that own the Dragonlance books? I do not. I don't know that much about Dragonlance, I'm afraid. Indeed, the previews of the VTT look very good. It's very promising. However, that's also like a sort of scripted show, like what game developers do, where they show like a pre-render, type thing. So I'm very curious if that's actually what it looks like, or if that's what they showed for the camera. So we'll see. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's hop over. Let's get introduced to our players. If you see that black space behind me, that is chat. That is where you show up. So as long as you guys are active, chatting, talking in here, it'll show up behind me and be recorded for the highlights. So you've come to the right place. If you'd like to be remembered forever, that's where to be. Let's go ahead. Let's hop right in, shall we? Hello, players.
Who are you?
Hello, I'm your dungeon master for tonight.
Oh, never heard of you.
Never?
Nope.
Well,
not once.
Nice to meet you.
All right.
Crown DM, welcome to this 5th edition game. You're currently a level 2 warlock, level 2 sorcerer.
Okay.
Do you
Who would
know...
build that? That's shit.
Pretty cringe.
Oh, look.
Oh. Redress, thank you very much for the 10 gifted subs to the community. That is incredibly kind of you. Thank you. Anyone know if Cyric and Alaric have the same voice? Yes, Cyric is Alaric.
What? Really? My God.
What do you mean? I'm Ibrahim.
How's everybody feeling tonight?
Spicy.
Yeah.
It literally took me 3 answers to process something, so I'm kind of nervous, bro. Not gonna lie.
Perfect.
I'm
Marana,
feeling great.
Callan,
100%.
how you guys feeling?
Oh boy. Not good. Not good.
Not good. What do you
I'm
mean?
excited, but also I know you're excited, so I don't want to pretend I'm excited.
Exactly.
I'm going to say it again. This is probably one of my best dungeons.
Don't ask if I trust you, because you won't like the answer.
I'm not going to ask you if you trust me. This is not the place to do that, I'm afraid. If you don't trust me, that's fine.
Yeah?
Correct. So, because I'm so excited, I will be doing
Yeah.
a recount tonight.
Oh my God.
Whoa, I didn't pick you. I didn't pick you.
Kid.
Welcome back.
I'm back. I also am told by mother to yell at you later.
She's
What?
going to yell at me about the VA thing again, isn't she?
Yes. She said to bring your cane tomorrow.
Bring my cane tomorrow. Okay.
So if you don't, she's gonna kneecap you with her purse.
Delightful.
She didn't say that.
He comes pre-kneecaps.
In Minecraft.
In
Oh, that was a great pee. That's great.
Perfect. Well, we're going to hop right into character introductions. And after that, I'm going to do your recount. And then we're going to get right into it because I'm
Don't.
very excited.
I'm not. That makes me nervous.
Yeah,
Alaric Crovane, why don't you go ahead and introduce your character for us, please?
do I get to choose next week who recounts?
Sure.
Noise.
Why don't you introduce our characters, DM? I'm kind of curious to see.
Yeah?
Oh, I kind of like that. That would be really
Oh,
cool.
no.
Let's see what he thinks. What do you think?
Very well.
Okay.
Let's see what he really like. Give us
I
your
wanna- yeah, a completely
almost-
unbiased.
yeah,
and-
completely
oh my gosh, yes.
uncensored, uncut, director's
Let's
cut.
go down the line then.
Let's see what
We
the GM really
have
thinks.
Alaric Crovane, a 4th level barbarian with far too many stats. He is the he is the second child to Belladonna Crovane, the House of Kareem. He is a prince for all intents and purposes, trained under Drius Gar, who is a very aggressive Leonin. As it stands currently, his recent turn into barbarian has been a very exciting thing to watch unfold. It's still hard to tell if he's trying to be a paladin or if he's actually going to lean into being a barbarian. He is a half-elf who comes from a very tribal society that still tries to basically hold itself as knights. I'm very interested to see how he progresses, especially in this place. We have Callan Aldane. He is a variant human ranger, 4th level, who, as it stands currently, has just recently found out that he is from a line of humans known as the Arharani, basically descendants of the first men here on Adis. While attempting to come to grips with that, he's been leading around these group of nobles through the countryside, trying to keep them safe while also putting them in increasing amounts of danger. It's very exciting.
Wow, you put that on me, Ricky Bobby.
We have Marana Lamortia, a level 4 Phantom Rogue Dampier, who is still coming to grips with her own heritage. She has a lot of very interesting abilities and a penchant for lying to her friends. However, she's also, at least what I've seen, a reliable individual, a very adept monster hunter, despite not being raised to do so. And I look forward to seeing how her progression to an eventual Van Helsing becomes. We have Ashilda Ironhands, a recent addition and a pseudo replacement for Sabine Lillian Rosaire, our previous paladin, now in the shape of a scribe wizard cleric, a follower of Ayun and Moraltir with a mouth on her. I am surprised that the party kept her because she came in swinging. But I guess when you have that much sort of
Moxie.
yeah, that much moxie to you, the party just sort of takes you. Like, they're like, we're gonna keep this one. I definitely look forward to seeing how she's going to react to working with this ragtag group of nobles and our resident woodsmen, and figuring out where she's going to fit in this group. We have Siluro von Ashford, a level 4 Psi fighter who is trying her best and is doing a very good job despite the circumstances around her. Despite the current state of the world, she is slowly but surely making changes. And even if it's just a person at a time, she's actually doing it. And I definitely look forward to seeing how she reacts to this dungeon. And finally, our resident foreigner, who hails from a place that shouldn't exist. We have Yuri Azari, who is a level 2 warlock, level 2 sorcerer. And as much as she talks about it, I think she prefers being here and not the horrible pit that is Shademore and the Old Road. She is not, I don't want to call her the wild card, but she definitely causes the party to think. And that's a very interesting trait to have. And I look forward to seeing how that continues to be tested in the future. And that's all of our players.
Next time we introduce each other's characters instead of our own.
Oh God, no. No. That's asking for trouble, Ricky Bob.
That's exactly the point.
No.
Episode 33, Biohazard. The current date is the 16th of dawn. It is 5 p.m. Entering the home, the rancid stench of decay becomes more prominent with every step, swirling through the stale air of the cabin like a miasma. Exploring the home reveals numerous deep cuts into the wood of what appears to be jagged claws, as well as various pieces of broken furniture and scattered clothes. They can hear ragged breathing of someone within the house, but can't locate the source by sight, prompting them to begin exploring deeper into the cabin. Further they delve, finding more of the horrific scene unfolding before them until they are face to face with the source. Henry, the old man, is drenched in blood, eyes wide with fear and anger. He blames the party for the death of Anne, unleashing a slew of horrific accusations against the party which strikes deeper than any of them expected. Stopping him from throwing himself into the nearby hole within his house, the party render him unconscious and bring him back to the constable. Not before nearly being burned alive by what sounds like laughing children. Thanks to Ashilde's quick thinking, they shatter the door and free themselves, finding the door has been barred, making their way back to the constable. Henry is protected by the constable, who will keep him safe while the party attempts to find where the children have gone. He gives them extra supplies and initially attempted to help them, but is talked down by Silveril, who assures him that his place is here, protecting the town from whatever this is. The party then make their way back to the house after a short rest and begin their descent after securing the rope. Clearing the blockage before them, the party enter the facility to find whatever waits for them. So, party, what are you doing?
I scream.
Okay,
Good start.
your scream echoes.
I'll freak it out.
You will notice that there are 3 paths before you. A path that goes north, a path that goes south, and a path that goes directly down the middle. As well, you would notice the strange interior of this structure. The metal-like walls that adorn the entirety of this place around you. You would see as well what appear to be strange fixtures mounted into the wall. Some of them appear around you to be broken. Others appear to be whole.
What the fuck?
Quick question about the passageways.
Yes.
Are they all level? I.e., they all seem to be level. There's no like ramps descending down.
You will notice them.
Elevation changes. Okay, so there will be a visual cue here.
Yes. There will be a visual cue on if the level descends or ascends.
Okay, so right now we are on level ground.
Correct.
Good to know.
Looking to each direction, Alaric gets this pensive expression before turning back to the group. I think before we go any deeper, we should light some torches. The light will help us see any detail.
I would like to examine the stonework, seeing that that's my dig.
Go ahead and roll me a history check. I believe you get a bonus.
I think I can roll. Let me look. Double proficiency, so.
Was that +4 right now? Making that a 16 total? Okay.
Yeah.
It is, judging by the make of it, judging by the sort of what you would notice immediately is that there are 3 facets to this wall. There is the 2 supporting bottom and top metal fixtures. There is a center-like railing that holds it all together, and what appears to be a smooth or round metal surface beyond that has numerous bolts about every 5 feet that sort of keep it all together. It is old, incredibly old. Think Third Age, and yet seems somehow so much more advanced. Why doesn't everybody roll me a perception check?
You nudged my dice, bro.
Starting off strong. Who am I missing? There we go. Everybody but Ashilde and Alaric. With Ashilde being fixated on the metalworking, the rest of you could hear it. Or you should be able to hear what's currently playing. This low, drowning sound that just seems to reverberate through this place.
Can we tell which direction it's coming from?
It is from all around you.
So it's like a disembodied noise.
Correct.
It could be that because of how echoey this place is, we can't pinpoint exactly where it's coming from.
Correct.
Damn.
Yes.
Is this blood?
Using your natural 20, while listening and picking up the sound, your attention would draw down to the dried blood upon the floor.
Blood. There seems to be blood, but it only goes in one direction, for what I can see.
We don't have a torchlight right now, right?
You do. It is currently being held by Kellen, and he has a lantern.
Ah, the lantern. Yeah, Yuria looks down, following Cylindril's gaze to the blood, and then looks onward down the hallway, noticing the similar splotches as they go from red to the sort of colorless, dark, as the edge of light dissipates into the dark. It looks like it heads in that direction for quite a while.
From what I can see, it only goes forward.
On that note, look at these. Marana will kind of point down to the claw marks. And what would I have to roll to determine which way they seem to be moving?
Roll me a survival check. 14. You would see that this is a very distinct set of claw marks. This current set is poised towards the wall. And you would notice as well that those claw marks are also present on the nearby walls that your friends are currently standing near, as if something was attempting to block this passage.
Okay, so almost like some kind of creature trying to cover up its tracks, like kicking back.
It's with a 14, you would notice that there are smaller marks besides the main 3 that denote a full hand. 4 fingers and a thumb.
Okay, what I was specifically asking is the direction where it kind of seems to go.
This one currently is just at this wall. Although with your... Yeah, this would be the only set you would see. This one is currently just poised towards the wall.
Okay. Whatever was here might have shoveled this wreckage behind it.
Do these claw marks look familiar to the ones up in the cabin?
Yes. As well as all of you would note, upon closer inspection as well, that this isn't stone. It's metal.
That realization hitting, Yuria just goes a little more paler. You know, something tells me that whatever happened to Henry, Anne got it a lot worse.
Are you saying that whatever happened up there crawled out of here? Because I've never seen a place like this before. Never.
Well, given that you said like things are made of metal and there's a strange sound, it looks like there's light fixtures here and there. Can I do a history check? See if we can figure out what this is, what kind of place this is.
I was wondering about
You
that,
can
but
certainly try.
Well,
Is that a
Ashilda
saying?
is going
You
to speak up. This place is ancient. Maybe Third Age. I mean, even the architecture is more advanced than anything we have going on right now. It's amazing.
You've never seen anything like this, Kellen.
read about it, heard about it.
No. Nothing that the Grey Watch or your father or anything would be interested in.
She's gonna walk over here once I get this to pop out so I can actually move my token. And kind of start looking at this thing coming off the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Giving it a look over, seeing if or what it does. Trying to discern.
Why don't you roll me another history check? With your knowledge of like stonework and history, it appears to be a light fixture of some sort, though currently dormant.
And I see another one across and then a little bit down, correct?
With your dark vision, yes. You would also note the ones that are on the walls that you just came from that appear to be broken.
I'm gonna go over to one of the broken ones real quick and kind of give it a look, see if there's anything internal, or if it was magic maybe.
That's hard to tell. In its current ruined state, there's little to nothing inside. Just this sort of broken shell of glass. If there was something inside, it's been removed.
There's lighting going all throughout this place. Whatever these are, and she'll point to them.
they look like some kind of torch sconce, meant to hold light.
But I don't think it's for torches.
Sideway torches?
No, I
Kim,
think these are the lights.
Yes.
how high tech is Valandra's?
Valandris has electricity, running water. Although more crystal-based technology, thanks to the artificers. Generally, their light sources have some form of free-floating crystal or something fixed within that generates the light for them. This almost seems colder. So, which way are you facing?
This way.
Why don't you roll me a perception check? As the others are currently investigating, inspecting, you would watch as a shadow darts just at the edge of your vision.
So draw her flail. Poising it in this direction. The slide of her foot sliding backward and probably moving some stones as she stares inward.
What happened?
I saw something. It was just on the edge of my vision, but I saw it. Perhaps we should try to make a decision soon.
That's right. Should we follow the blood?
I'm unsure. My thoughts are yes, of course we should follow the blood, but I do not want to be surrounded because we did not take the time to check the other corridors.
This old place seems almost abandoned. When it comes to recency, that blood is the earliest thing I could think of. I say follow it. What say the rest of you?
Might not hurt to secure our flanks before charging in.
I agree. If what Morana said is true, this creature tried. Well, I don't like following trails. It seems like a trap.
And if it was like the creatures or children or whatever it is above, there could be more there to trap us with.
Ashila,
When it comes to tactical, I mean, not getting snuck up behind with a grate, but also going down where, I mean, if it's trying to lead us somewhere, then it might be a wee bit more dangerous. There might be a reason why it's trying to lead us there.
alright, secure the flanks then. Left or right, what will it be?
Yeah, I have a quick question.
Yes.
Looking kind of at like this, having seen like these, what I can only describe just from what I'm visually seeing as refuse, does it look like collapsed walls or garbage, or what am I looking at here?
You'll have to get closer and roll me an investigation check.
I'll pop next to Alaric and see what this is.
Perfect. The weird thing about this is that it doesn't match the structure. This is like broken bottles, like wine bottles, broken chairs, piled up soggy paper. But all of it has sort of been compact, mixed with mud and soot and sort of various pieces of debris. This almost appears to be foreign in this otherwise alien place.
We'll not only have to contend with this strange structure, but whatever's made it its home. It looks like all of the trappings came from outside.
Hmm.
As for direction, I'd say perhaps let's head north. And she'll gesture the way.
As good as direction as any. I don't suppose I could tell anything from the refuse about the specific kind of critter that would leave that shit behind, like smells.
Roll me
or-
a survival.
Okay. Survival. 15.
It's not critter, it's people. This is like, these are things left behind by people. This is like discarded furniture, discarded bottles, food that's spoiled and has sort of aged and become so rotten it's just become this sort of amorphous thing. This is incredibly old. It's not recent.
It's almost as if there were people living down here at one point. This is just refuse.
It looks to the other piles. Too much for a single couple. Unless they've been here for years.
I would probably suggest it was more like a whole pack of them. But it's so old that if there were people down here, they are probably long dead.
DM, quick question. The air in here, how does it feel?
There is a scent that you cannot place. There's the stagnant air that's here. But there is this chemical smell that lingers.
Ooh, is it like ozone?
No. Think
Ammoniac?
ammonia.
Okay. Feeling in this scent, Alaric seems to lick his lips, tasting it almost. The spirits here are hungry. I can feel their breath. It stands out. Well, Kellen, you are the sharpest pair of eyes in this group. Would you like to lead?
Just kind of looks at the lantern and then back at him. I don't know if that's the most ironic thing you've said or what. But I can definitely give it a try.
Trust me, even with our eyes, all we see is darkness in this place. There is very little color.
So party.
Do us a favor and keep an eye on the floor and the walls. I don't trust this.
How are we moving about this facility?
I guess we're going up.
No. How are we moving about this facility?
He's talking
Listen,
about the
we-
darkest dungeon train. That's what he's saying.
Are you asking about the order of march? Marching order?
Who's on front?
Yes. And if we're being quiet, or if we're just walking.
Well, Alaric is going to pick up the rear.
Don't everybody speak up at once.
Okay. Cyril's still looking this way as she begins to back up, and she would look to. Okay. She would look around Morana to Alaric. Please keep your eyes open. The moment we move, I'm afraid that the Biohazard could come around the corner.
Worry. I'll keep a lookout.
We are not alone.
Yuria, Ashildane, where are you putting yourselves in this path of ours?
I'm comfy where I am.
Okay. And how are we walking? Quietly. Throwing caution to the wind.
I'm going to say cautiously, because I think I'm going to be looking for bullshit on the floor, on the walls and the ceilings. But I guess, you could couple that with being quiet, so sure.
Perfect. Then go ahead, why don't you roll me a 1d20 plus 1, as that is your party's lowest stealth roll. As the party attempts to stealthily navigate through the facility.
14.
And then why don't you go ahead and roll me your investigation.
Oh boy.
You're probably getting help when it comes to investigate, right?
That would probably need somebody with investigation at the front.
Correct.
Well, if you need someone with investigation.
Sure.
Move yourself to the front, Morana, if you're assisting.
No, I was gonna squeeze myself in between the platewares. I mean meat shields. I mean platewares.
Never
You
you
are.
say, convict.
Okay.
Only one point where
Go ahead and roll with advantage, please.
That's 16.
16. Walking, sort of navigating through this first hallway into the opening here. You can go ahead and move your tokens here. You would find that there is this sort of chamber that you're in. You would find that the paths branch once more. However, with a 16, you would not find anything that denotes a trap. You would notice the 16 what appears to be a broken piece of wall.
like stuff coming through it, or it's just broken?
It appears to be like a collapsed segment of wall.
Because they come into this chamber. Kellen will nudge Marana and kind of gesture off to the left and then point to his eyes. Point up there. As he steps to the right to kind of peer around this corner.
She understands the pantomiming.
It's not
Kind
sign
of.
language, but
Shielday, if you don't move your token, I'm going to count you as being there. Abandoned.
abandoned, forgotten, lost.
Why don't you both go ahead and roll me perception checks?
Lord.
Perception. Oof. Yeah, here we go.
It's the darkness that peers back at you, Kellen Aldane. Your torch only, or your lantern only allowing you so much while attempting to hide and sort of peering around. Funny enough, the other person who supposedly lacks dark vision, peering around the corner, you would find nothing. What appears to be more refuse sort of stuffed into this back corner. You would begin to note the strange sort of moss or sort of algae buildup along the floors and walls that sort of dried and sort of caked itself to this lower segment of wall. Why don't you roll me a history check, Marana?
Nope.
Belay my last. All right.
But I don't know, there's like a weird slab over here. Does that look, with my perception roll, did that look any sort of interesting or more refuse?
That, at least from what you're able to tell, appears to be an old mattress, which lends itself to Kellen's point earlier that people lived down here.
Understood.
Yo, can we long rest there? Holy shit.
Ew, I think it's probably staying things you want to think
In the
about.
corner? Please. Please do.
They probably
think
use that as the latrine, my dude.
Oh, one thing. So I'm kind of standing near this moss, correct?
Yeah, it's
Or-
along the floor.
Can I, just to test, sort of move my foot along it, see how slippery it is?
It is old. Like when you
It's
drag
dried?
when you drag your foot against it, it like crumbles.
It's almost like petrified moss in a way or something. Weird. Wackadoo.
The moss is dried. Whatever source it might have been growing from is probably long gone.
There would have needed to be light and moisture for it. If it's dried, whatever was feeding it moisture is probably long gone. On that note, is it really dry down here? Like the air in general? There's
Yes.
no dampness on the walls, the floor, no dripping water or liquid or anything.
Nothing that you can hear, but it is incredibly dry down here. Almost like a regulated sort of humidity.
Or like a dehumidity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
I
there's
like
like a lack of moisture.
Like one of those sterile environments where like if you sit in it for too long, you get nosebleeds because your nose
Yes.
dries up. Yeah. Yeah, I think Kellen will like twitch his nose at the thought of it, but like that cog just isn't quite turning because of my history check earlier not being good enough.
Also, how much broken glass is over here?
A decent amount by the looks of it.
I'd like to start collecting some.
Sure. We'll go ahead. We'll give you 3 small shards.
When you say small shards, about how large are you talking exactly? Like, are we talking like they're like 3-inch large shards? Or like a
Hold on,
broken
I'm
pocket
looking
mirror?
around my desk real quick.
Methinks what you're after
Ooh.
might be a handful or two of broken glass that you could throw behind you, so if you heard
That
something
is-
coming up, then it would
That
make
is
you-
exactly what I was thinking of.
Gotcha. Okay.
Let's say
I want
that.
That's a good guess.
There's enough there that you'd be able to cover 1 square.
Luckily for you, there's probably plenty of broken glass as we go.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking of doing.
Smart.
So
Collecting.
yeah, you can go ahead. You can collect the glass as it stands currently. You can cover 1 square, effectively.
Alright, I'm gonna keep a count of that.
Perfect.
We're on over here picking through trash. The rest of us are like, what is she doing?
What is everybody else doing? You all would notice as well as you round the corner, the sort of collapsed segment of the walls, and then the sort of continued pathways that split from one another. One that goes further north, and then another one that goes immediate.
We'll continue forward. Kind of want to poke at this collapsed wall just out of curiosity.
Sure. Poking at it, This is definitely
So-
something you could clear.
Any wind, any smell,
nowhere.
anything?
Nothing.
Here's one. Does it look, compared to the other walls, that this was like some shitty job put up to cover something that used to be there and they tried to patch it and it just didn't stand up to the rest of the architecture?
Why don't you roll me an insight check?
Insight?
Yes. Yes, Marana, you can. I watched your token just turn towards it. Yes.
So now it's 2 spaces worth of glass.
2 spaces, yes.
Okay, good.
It just appears to be collapsed. Like, suffered enough trauma or blunt force to it that it collapsed on itself.
Oh, something hit this thing?
Yes. Which is very odd because, again, the entire structure is made out of metal.
Can't see through it though.
No.
Like
You
no
can-
gaps or anything.
You can attempt to clear it with the shovel.
I think he'll gesture Alaric forward. But I wanna, before we do that, Kellen's gonna like kind of peer down these little hallways first so we don't get jumped. Or at least don't appear to get jumped.
Once Kellen gestures Alaric forward, he'd get a sense of Alaric's movement and its awkwardness in this cramped environment. He steps on the glass that's on the floor behind Yuria. The shards crunching under his foot as he squeezes by, giving Kellen a thoughtful look. You want me to go ahead?
Why don't you start on it? Everybody else fan out. Keep an eye on those passages.
Right. He hefts verdict up on his shoulder.
As you step out, your lantern in tow sort of illuminating beyond, you would catch the glimpse of something. 2 reflective lights at the far end in the center of the room. And as it sweeps, you would hear this very sudden scream. As it reflects, you would hear the scream and then the very sudden sound of scraping claws and feet.
Coming this way?
Yes.
Oh fuck.
Oh,
It's
he would-
initiative.
Yeah, could Alaric get Kellen out of the way? Like, as soon as the scream
I'll allow
came
it,
through.
sure.
We'll just like pirouette around each other, kind of.
Yeah, he would have drawn out an arm across him and, pushed forward to the forefront.
Like, whoop!
As you awaken the horde.
Oh,
God.
as we awaken the horde. Oh, no.
Everybody roll initiative.
Yes, sir.
Just looked at the initiative tracker. Those are my favorite enemies.
Fuck. I don't like those.
Ooh.
Marana Lamortia.
Oh shit, I'm first.
You are the rogue with a very high dexterity.
Alright. Cool. Kind of what I was doing. I was gonna, begin laying that out. I'm just gonna toss the broken glass onto these 2 squares here.
Okay.
And, kind of hearing where that came from, draw my weapon. To see that. And then move here, bonus action hide, and can I ready an action?
You are currently illuminated?
He's out of sight though if anything comes up the top.
Indeed. We'll say, because you're illuminated, we'll say stealth at disadvantage.
All right, give it a shot.
12. Okay. And what is your readied action?
If something kind of gets up close and into Alaric's face, try to peer around and jab at it with my rapier.
Okay.
Stibbity stabbity.
And kind of forgetting herself for a moment, you just kind of see her free hand gesture wildly. It looks like it's a meaningful gesture, but you don't understand it.
All right. That is your turn. It is the creature that goes next. Roused from their slumber, they begin charging. You would hear immediately as well the sort of scratching of claws and feet as things begin to move in the chamber beyond.
Which chamber? Talking.
I think the answer is we don't know yet.
Correct.
No.
The other ghouls go. Well, they all rolled insanely well.
Yep.
Who would have thought? Squint.
As they begin to flood into the hallway.
Don't like that, don't like that, don't like that, don't like that.
Alaric. You stare down the hallway and see them like crawling along the walls, sort of scurrying sort of across the floor, these sort of sickly pale individuals with these long gnarly claws, their hands and forearms covered in gore, and you would see their jaws hanging at like unnatural angles, very far from how a mouth should be, as they just begin wailing and rushing towards you.
I imagine Alaric will be able to make out the shapes now appearing before him.
You're currently casting a shadow on them with the lantern behind you, but yes.
So, realizing the gravity of the thread now spilling out into the hallway, Alaric's expression hardens with grim determination. He hefts Verdict right off of his shoulder and catches it by its neck, and taking a quick glance here at his surroundings, would he be able to hold this enterway, or if they push to him, could they go by him?
If they push to you, they're gonna get past you.
So he will step right here, elbow to elbow, wall to wall, and hold his attack action.
Okay. Whenever one gets in range.
They get Verdict.
Understood. Ashilde.
Alright, I'm going to be moving up 5, 10, 15 to here, beside Marana and Kelly. Just trying to get eyes, and I am holding the action to cast Word of Radiance whenever they get within 15 feet.
Understood. Kellen Aldane.
This is like our drums in the deep fucking moment in it.
Yup. Let them come.
Dun 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 dun. Yeah.
There's one dwarf in the Moria who still draws breath.
One looks at a shield.
I
Where? Oh, her? Wow, okay.
What are you doing, Kellen?
I am... you know what? I'm gonna set the lantern down first.
Sure.
Because I need two hands to bow things. And, I think, yeah, with the lantern kind of off to the side or behind or something like that, I will start throwing arrows this way.
Okay.
Thunk.
Let's see it. 20 hits.
11 piercing. Thunk.
striking it, it only causes it to wail louder. This horrific scream that sort of is sort of amplified by the metallic room that you're in. If you don't shut them up, more will be coming.
Kill Yuria.
Wait, what?
She has a silent spell like that. But kill him really fast, it might. Okay. Other than that, I'm gonna step backwards one, so I can kind of keep an eye on that direction as well, just in case.
Okay.
But yeah, I think, yeah, he'll kind of call for people to, like, Silver, form up. Don't let them get out of there. That way Alaric can back out.
All right. It is the first ghoul. He's going to proc your action, Alaric, as he throws himself at you. A 9 misses. This frantic motion that the ghoul has sort of catches you off guard with how desperate it is. This ravenous look in their eyes as they throw themselves, sort of claws catching onto your sort of clothing to try and pull themselves up. They are going to attempt to bite into you.
Imagine Verdict bouncing off of the wall after smashing against it.
That is a 4. That misses. This gnashing bite, these sort of gross yellow teeth sort of slamming near your throat, but you're managing to push them back. Celeron.
All right. That's a tight area. Silverl is going to move here. Bracing herself near the wall, giving enough room here to let Alaric back up, and I will hold my action should a scary duel come into my zone of attack.
Okay. Yuria.
All right. Everyone looking to that direction. We are going to... We're going to be casting Hex on that first guy.
Okay.
We're going to move here. One level spell slot. Oops.
Eldritch Blast.
How'd you know?
I have a knack for these things.
And then we're going to cast Mr. DM and Eldritch Blast.
Perfect. Let's see it.
Also, his saving throw disadvantage on strength saves.
Strength saves. You got it. That super hits.
This sort of, you see, you step up and this mist, sort of a colorless mist surrounds the creature, and then a streak of teal goes from her fingers right into the creature's chest.
Go ahead and roll that extra d6 from your hex.
One thing.
Wow! It's 10 damage.
Yes, Marana.
I was going to say, wouldn't a Shilda's spell have procced? It's in 15 feet.
It's
Oh,
a
yes.
15-foot cube centered on me.
Oh. Oh, yeah.
Isn't that still 15 feet? Unless I don't understand cubes.
I think it still would, yeah. So let me cast it. I wasn't sure. I thought it was too far out.
That's 15 feet. Go ahead. Let's see it.
I need it to make a Constitution saving throw.
That is a 9.
Remind me to change
Nope.
the con.
All right. That is 1 point of radiant damage. What is your word of radiance? Jesus.
That's not even 15 feet. Wait a minute.
Oh,
It doesn't hit.
that wouldn't hit.
That's right.
All right. Apologies. We'll give him back his 1 HP. That he so rightfully deserves.
Got
Oh
him.
my god.
Snatches it back from your face.
Give it to
Excuse me.
All right. Are you doing anything else on your turn?
Well, that's bonus action and my main action.
Okay.
We're gonna move here again, in case I get some weird like spit maneuver or some shit.
All right.
Now my turn's over.
Murata Lamordia.
Cool. Quick question.
Yes.
Do I hear anything from the rubble here?
Roll me a perception check. You do not.
Okay. Well, seeing as Alaric is holding the line for now, going to switch to my short bow, kind of step up to where Kellen is. See that nonsense?
What do you mean? See what?
Exactly. No, that guy is within the range of the lamp,
You're right.
and that's why we're going to try and shoot him.
Perfect. Let's see it.
Not going to hit.
A 1 does not hit. It strikes off of the nearby metallic wall, sort of splintering into pieces.
We're just going to...
Jesus. All right. That was
just
your...
move back there and kind of keep an eye on this area.
Perfect. The start of the ghouls' turns. I'm gonna roll this. Okay. Give me 1 moment. All right.
Yep. There it is.
This one is going to throw itself. It is going to cling to the wall, and it is going to swipe down at you.
Who's you?
Well,
Hey.
that one does trigger my action.
It would not. Not where you're currently standing. Remember, it was the 5 feet around you.
It's 15 feet.
We
I would hit
just
the
saw
one
your-
on top of Alaric.
We just saw your little thing. This is what it covered.
The ghoul might be also 5 feet up as well.
Okay,
That's
point.
20 feet.
Trigger mine.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, so it was holding that action as well.
An 8 misses against you, Alaric. What are you attacking? You using your flail?
Yeah.
Would it be within reach? You know what? Fuck it. We'll say it's within reach. Sure.
Unless it's not.
Go ahead and attack. A 9 misses, I'm afraid. Swinging out. Yeah.
It's into the wall
Scratching.
pillar.
Sort of drawing sparks across the wall as you do. Briefly illuminating everything. And illuminating more eyes.
Like that.
Okay. You can hear it now. The frantic running of more ghouls joining the screams. Now
dear.
that would proc your Word of Radiance.
Suddenly surrounded, eh?
Such as it is.
Holy shit, that's why we keep a train, people.
Ashilde.
I'm looking at something here real quick. Alright. I am going to...
It's your held action for Word of Radiance.
Yep.
That is a 15.
That makes it so he takes nothing.
Understood. That momentary, searing, blinding light finding no purchase as you just cast, it's going to try to bite you.
It would have been Dwarven for illuminate, by the way.
That is a 13. What's your armor class, Ashilde?
14, because I've cast mage armor before I came down here.
Perfect. It misses. Its teeth sort of catching against that arcane barrier that's there. Okay. Alaric.
Yeah, as this ghoul in front of Alaric surges forward and starts grabbing and leaning and pushing into him, he begins like this desperate struggle against it. He begins yelling, suddenly roaring in dispute as he catches its wrist, its neck, holding back both of its claws and the teeth. And when the ghoul above him skims past and takes a swipe, he just barely crouches and his claws rake through his hair. And Alaric is going to rage.
Perfect.
Yeah. I'm gonna post my cart. Or am I? Well, that's a dead macro. Apologies. Let me... There you go.
All right.
Gonna add a little nice glow to him.
Currently blocked by
Wow.
the lad above you.
Let me...
That's 3 attacks of art.
No, that effect on him though. What the fuck?
Yeah, and
That's so cool. God, Foundry's the coolest fucking dude. Sorry. Continue. Oh, he looks so fucking cool, dude.
so it is very mild what happens to Alaric, the change that this rage brings about. His eyes become even more narrow, they become more edged, sharp, a kind of predatory dark, and his face slightly juts forward, and hair all around his whole body grows in length, larger, longer, encompassing of his features and fusing with his neck that's thick-set. It matches a kind of silver fur that snaps out of his arms, out of his limbs. This isn't Alaric anymore. It is a seemingly feral creature wearing the shattered remnants of his clothes. Not a lion, but not a man either. It's like an offending mismatch of both. A were-lion. And he will lash out violently with his newly gained claws at the ghoul in front of him.
Let's see it. 14 hits. Which is more than enough to shred this ghoul. The correct token on it. Aha. Ripping him apart. Yuria, you'd be able to move your hex. Describe what ripping him apart looks like in your new form, Alaric.
Well, I wouldn't say it is entirely ripping it apart. He swipes once with this massive claw, this huge paw at its head, and drives the ghoul's head into the wall.
Oh, God.
Shattering it. Yeah.
this spray of viscera across the wall, turning into a Jackson Pollock painting as you pull your claw back.
That's right.
Perfect. That was your action, your bonus action.
I have one more attack, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, Alaric will, sort of hugging the wall here. He'll squat down for a moment, leap up, scratch at the wall to get the reach, and swipe at the ghoul above him.
Let's see it. That misses, I'm afraid. It will use its reaction to sort of bite at your outstretched hand. That is a 20 to hit.
It lands.
That is 12 reduced to 6.
Nope. Sorry, I reduced it.
Oh, all right. All right, are you doing anything else on your turn?
That is my turn, and as he's bit, he roars at the ghoul, momentarily hanging off of the wall before he crouches back down with this hail of dust that precedes his landing.
Ashilda.
I'm going to... Ashilda would outstretch her hand to the one that just took a bite at her, the one within range. And she'll twist it as a beam of fire comes out at the one in front of her. And she'd say, Inferni, and firebolt it.
Okay. Do you have War Wizard or the?
I do have it.
Pog.
I
All
do.
Right. A 13 hits.
3 fire damage.
That's right. Striking across the sort of sickly form of this ghoul, immediately causing its flesh to sizzle and bubble. All right. Are you doing anything else on your turn?
I don't think I can, so...
Staying there?
Sure.
All right.
I mean, it'll get a attack of opportunity, but I will move back into this corner.
Okay. It'll take a swipe at you. That's a 6. That misses. Kellen Aldane. Overwhelming forces.
So this one is dead, right?
The one with the red skull? Yes. Red skull
yeah.
designates being dead.
Okay, that seems new.
It's not.
Oh, fuck. Seeing as Alaric is kind of being... Well, he was being surrounded. Can I step forward and just melee the crap out of this thing? I'll try to.
Yeah, let's see it.
Right.
Technically, you would be flanking with Alaric, so
Fair.
you get a +2 to your roll.
Oh, neato. Yeah, so I think, seeing Alaric surrounded, he has that moment of like, well, fuck that, That's my boy. You don't get to. Why did I? I'm sorry about that.
You posted the info, good sir.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh, whoopsie doodles. Yeah, he utters a battle cry and runs forward and attempts to slash at the first one.
Let's see it. More than enough.
More than enough. It does that. And then can I offhand with my offhand one?
Yeah.
As my bonus action.
That first strike slashing, sort of carving where the firebolt had hit, sort of splitting the sickly skin that is there, causing it to... You would note that when it screams, it also yells. Not like a feral beast, but yelling for help.
Okay. I think we're going to try and go for the throat on this guy. Well, I don't know if that means anything, but flavor-wise. Yeah. Well, +2.
+2.
Still probably not enough.
An 11 would hit.
Oh, would it? Oh shit. Well, for a total of 16.
Slashing and then following up with your offhand, sort of causing this creature to stagger backwards, and it realizing in this moment now that it's surrounded. There's a level of intelligence with how it looks around.
That seem unusual for a ghoul.
Why don't you roll me a... We'll see how familiar you are with ghouls. Why don't you roll me a Arcana check?
Oof. So good at those. Oh, well, apparently I am. Apparently I'm just really good at Arcana checks today.
Ghouls, at least from what you would be able to surmise, they're relatively smart hunters. They're like a predator species. Compared to zombies, they hunt in packs. They're very cunning when they can be, or when they're led by something. A level of intelligence like this, being able to talk, these are relatively newer ghouls. Also, in Tyros, the general moniker for the undead is the Tainted.
Why are they called the Tainted?
Because they are the tainted remains of the fallen.
Okay, I didn't know if there was like some interesting history behind why they were called that.
Maybe there is. Maybe you have to go out and find it.
Okay. Well, my little whirly-do,
All right.
swordy strikey is done, and I moved, and I attacked, and I bonus action, so...
Perfect.
Who
Siluro.
next? Nice.
Silro will, on the backswing, bring the wrath backwards towards Dishwan.
That hits, dealing 5 damage. Sort of striking at its back and ripping the flail out. You would watch as it sort of staggers, falling onto its hands and knees. It looks mortal.
I'm gonna use Sonic Strike.
Okay.
Not doing good today with my roll.
More than enough. With a 3, you manage to, that final strike with the flail, driving it through and just sort of crushing the spine of this ghoul and sending it flat to the ground. All right.
Gonna move here. I'm sorry. Check for this hallway. She'll pull the flail up to her side, wiping it on her hand to check to make sure that the wall didn't damage it. Then she will move back.
Okay. You would immediately hear that splinter of glass as a ghoul rushes through this other hallway.
Not just one, though. Holy shit.
They're smart, brother. Yuria.
Hearing the scraping, the growling, and finally the crunch of glass, Yuria whips around to see is face to face with a ghoul. She's going to drop Hex, and instead, we're going to use Misty Visions and cast Silent Image at will.
Okay.
And between them, it will look like a segment of the wall just dropped in between them.
Interesting. Posts silent image for me?
What's that? Oh, there you go.
I said silent image.
Silent Image is in there. What do you want from me?
You create an image or an object, creature, or some other visual phenomenon that is no larger than 15 foot cube. The image appears at a spot within range and lasts for the duration. The image is purely visual. It isn't accompanied by any sound, smell, or other sensory effect. Using action, cause the image to move. Blah, blah, blah. Physical interaction with the image reveals it to be an illusion because things can pass through it. A creature that uses an action to examine an image can determine that it's an illusion with a successful intelligence investigation check. Interesting. Okay. Well, they would definitely try and claw at it. Why don't you roll me... Why don't you roll me a deception check? Okay. Maintaining concentration on the silent image.
Yep.
What else are you doing?
She will announce to the party. We have company behind us that won't hold for long. As she spends her time to move backwards rapidly.
It's not retreating, it's advancing in the opposite direction.
Absolutely. She is going to move right up here. Basically backpedaling away from the wall. Indeed.
Nice.
It's kind of smart, really.
All right. Anything else on your turn?
The action, movement, bonus action. That'll be it.
Okay. Marana. There is the ghoul that is currently harrying Alaric.
Yep. I'm wondering if, in sort of a similar fashion, kind of kip up, kind of have 3 limbs on the wall, and then just kind of attempt to stab them around the corner.
If you were to move here, I'd say go for it. Stabbing around the corner, a little more parkour, but...
Alright, then I will kind of step over the corpse of the
Perfect.
fallen
Squish,
thing and then
Ew.
give it a stab. Does that count as
Difficult
flanking?
terrain?
Alright.
Oh. No. I had to consider that now, because the creature is above him.
Okay.
That misses him, Fred.
Again! Jesus Christ.
Striking your rapier off the side of the wall. Near it, its head snaps towards you, sort of realizing just how many people are here.
And then kind of just skitter back.
Okay.
And I still want to listen at this wall to hear if there's any clawing.
I'm going to let you know that is a blocked passage, effectively. The only way you're going to get in there is if you use your shovel.
Understood. I
Yeah.
just didn't know if anything was coming from the other
It's all
side.
good. No,
So
things
sort
are
of reach
things are very
through.
much coming from right here.
Yes.
Who's that when you got...
I saw that coming, but it's like, alright, hopefully Uria's thing holds.
Yeah, the Kool-Aid Man moment.
Oh, yeah.
It
Okay.
do be like that. If they attack it, it's gone.
Rushing forward is going to... We're going to see. It is a...
Observe.
Physical interaction revolves. Things can pass through it. A creature uses an action to examine the image. I guess we're going to roll an investigation for this ghoul.
Ah, behold. A master of stalling.
Listen, if you can get them into that kind of one thing chokehold, that's good.
What's your spell save, DC?
The diplomats.
15.
The diplomating the fucking rules.
Does it observe?
You would watch as it shatters through.
George! Oh no!
It rolled a 7. It's rolled a 18 minus 2 for a 16 total.
My god.
Well, luckily that was its action.
Indeed.
Jeremy, I believe they are fabricating a lie.
Exceptional intelligence. The creature can see through the image. Physical interaction reveals. Yeah, I'm gonna roll a perception check for this next ghoul. See if he saw that.
Did my friend just take the red pill and decide to walk the
He
wall?
did. He did.
I mean, my God, they're so mega intelligent freaking ghouls.
It is horrific how high they are rolling, by the way. Immediately, this thing is going to throw itself at Ashilda.
Sheet.
Oh, I believe that cheeky wave tried to pull a fast one on us. Jim.
That is a 15.
Get her.
Would hit if I didn't reaction shield.
Okay. That temporary bonus to your armor class, causing its that sort of rancid teeth to bounce off of that projection. All right. All right, the ghoul above Alaric is going to take a swipe at you.
Nice.
That is a 6. That is a miss. And it is going to dart back the way it came, so you would get an attack of opportunity.
I would like to grapple.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Hold me.
That's a 10.
Yup. Alaric would essentially leap up again, kind of wall running by the sheer strength of his claws, scraping at the wall as he reaches up for its ankle, and would, falling, bring it back down, essentially. Probably off of the wall and straight up to the floor.
Indeed. Okay. Okay. That one is the one that is still running. That. Oh, no, can't stand there,
Oh,
brother.
but wait. There's more.
That's his action to dash. That one is dead. Alaric, you are grappling a ghoul.
Yeah.
This wailing,
it's at-
screaming monstrosity.
Yeah, at his mercy. And as he's holding it there, watching it squirm, this expression of terrible satisfaction in Alaric's face, and the lines across the newly abominable expression that he has twist in this sudden and intense rage. And he's going to lash out.
Let's see it.
And as he breaks off to claw at it, it's with this horrible roar, this feline-like explosion of aggression. And there's one.
An 8 misses, I'm afraid.
Hey. And you know what? We're gonna attack recklessly for the next attack.
Okay.
Yep. That's right, you little
That's
shit.
natural 20. That'll do it.
That'll do, baby.
Good.
A brutal strike. What does that look like?
Even in this feline body, in this lion-like form, there's still Alaric's heaviness, right? He's not as fast as like a cat. No, he's like a lazy lion with this heavy set sort of strength. Every swing of his arms is like a pendulum falling down, like his hammer. And his paws, when they swipe out, they drag heavy across the body, just eviscerating through the flesh, leaving these huge openings across its torso.
Delightful. Anything else on your turn?
No, that's it.
Okay.
We'll be obviously maintaining the grapple.
Miss Ironhands, your shield fades.
Okay, I'm going to Rhymes Binding Ice. It is a 30-foot cone. But I'm going to be switching it from ice to fire, because I have that ability as a scribe wizard, for me having Scorching Ray also as a 2nd level spell in my book.
Okay. Go ahead and post it for me. "30-foot cone."
I'm positioning it. Give me a second.
Perfect. All right, based on that, all right, it's these two.
She would say, ligament ingress, which is binding of fire. And the way that it would look, because she switched the elemental base, it'd be almost as if she ignited the rock up around their ankles.
Okay. Heating the metal there momentarily and igniting across their flesh. They both fail and suffer the full brunt of that damage.
It would get all of them, wouldn't it?
Based on the squares of your cone, it would be these two.
Only reason why I ask is the one directly in front of me is also in the cone, and so is the one at the entrance coming in.
I'm going off the squares. If you hover over your cone, you'll see
gotcha.
what squares they affect.
Okie dokie.
All right.
And then-
Massive damage. And it looks like their speed is reduced to 0?
To 0, yes.
Okay. Are you doing anything else on your turn?
I am not. I will end my turn because I am blocked in.
Indeed. Kellen Aldane.
Is that cone still there, or is that just... That's just a fact, okay. I'm not, like, gonna step...
Yeah,
if I
those
step
creatures are affected by it. The cone goes away.
Bullshit. Fuck. Oh, man. It's a rough decision.
Oh,
Okay.
you can get flanking.
Yeah, if I go here, I can flank on this guy at least. I will do that. We'll slip down and start slashing.
That's
I
it.
started slashing.
Alright, first one. Of course. You roll a 9, that's not gonna...
I'm afraid not. It will use its reaction to lash out at you with a claw sweep. That is a 14.
No, it does not hit. I have 15
Okay.
points. Well, I'll try the offhand and hope for better luck.
That's it.
So we're gonna keep moving the buttons. There we go. That's better.
That hits.
Cool.
Striking with the offhand, sort of catching where you missed the first time, you slash across their body.
Alright.
Doing anything else on your turn?
As I do not want to provoke 2 opportunity attacks, I think I'll just hang out here and hope for backup.
Well, one already used its reaction.
Even one is no, this is fine. We can hold this line. It's good.
Okay. Celero. Your allies are being harried.
Indeed. Indeed they are.
I run away.
I run.
Good luck, everybody
Who's gonna
else.
do that?
Will. Move here. And take a swing at this one with her flail.
That's it.
Actually, do I even feel like using the Zweihander?
You don't.
I figured. And yes, the flail
You
will
really
come
like
upward.
the flail. 11 hits. Absolutely
17
obliterating.
points of damage, by the way. Whenever I crit, it deals cold damage.
That wasn't a crit.
It
You rolled an
was.
11.
No, you just rolled maximum damage. Is what
Oh,
it
that's. Oh, I read it wrong
Yeah, yeah,
then. I read it
Still
wrong.
good.
Still good though.
Apologies.
You obliterated that goal.
And as I will not be using action surge, I will move. Can I step over its dead body as difficult terrain?
Yes. So moving onto onto tainted corpses, they count as difficult terrain.
And I will move here.
Perfect.
Over its body. It is a sweeping motion. She brings down the flail down on top of probably like the shoulder of this ghoul, pushing it to the ground and using the force of the momentum of the swing of its head to wheel herself over its body and landing here, poised to do the same.
Perfect.
Yes, I can.
That's your turn?
Yes.
Okay. The ghoul, who was first initially stumped by the silent image, watched all of their brothers rush through it.
I say.
I do believe we're being duped.
I love to think that they like can't talk, so it's like, oh, but in their head, it's a hive mind of just, what did I do, declare?
I say.
Oh, blimey.
It is going
That
to
wayfish hussy deceived us.
is going to lash out at you, Siluro.
Wayfish hussy.
Oh dear.
Even with its flanking advantage, that is an 8, which misses.
How about the tramp?
The claws sort of uselessly scraping across your chainmail and tabard, finding no purchase.
With a twist of her neck, she will eye it with these pensive, sharp eyes.
Yuria.
Yuri's gonna notice that Alaric seems to be struggling with something beyond his mentor, and she's going to cast My Sliver on that creature.
On Alaric.
On Alaric, that's right, on the monster.
That beast.
Oh my god, what happened to Alaric? Where is he?
I need an intelligence saving throw
It's great at that.
from Alaric's best friend.
We're not very smart.
That's an 8.
It takes 6 damage, and it's next. Oh, let me do this.
It's more than enough. You like that's mind sliver, that disorienting spike sort of causes its entire body to shudder in Alaric's grasp and then go limp.
Yep, she literally just looks over, focuses on it. There's a twitch in her eye. She says,
God.
"Fall," and it dies.
Yeah, exactly. Fall, the word echoes, and its body convulses.
Oh my god.
We have more company, Alaric. What do I want for a bonus action? Nothing. That'll be my turn.
Understood. Marana. Miss Lamodia.
Put herself on mute.
Sorry, I was on mute. Alright, good. So we have a line here. One's dead. And I want to try and free up our wizard friend.
Perfect. That hits.
And sneak attack.
Max damage, sneak attack. Managing to find that perfect angle to drive the rapier through, you would hear it sort of wail, its lapping wails just become disturbed for a moment, sort of gurgling on its own blood as you drive the rapier through.
Still kicking though?
Yes, but looks mortal.
Fortunately, that's all I can do for now. But
But you cut out if you said anything.
I'm thinking, sorry.
Oh, okay, sorry.
You
Cliffhanger.
offhand? I don't remember if you offhand normally.
I can't offhand. I wish I could. I can't.
Lame.
But instead we'll kind of move back just a little bit, giving none of those schools any good choices.
Indeed. All right.
Are you sure about that?
Your turn. Yeah, it's gonna throw itself at. Give me a moment.
I have given it no good choices.
It suddenly just straightens and rubs its chin.
I say, this
Well,
is a bit of a conundrum.
tactics demands I attack the wisdom.
Which is what it's
However-
gonna do.
I love
Jolly good, pip pip. Yeah.
Sun Tzu said
That
in
is
the Art of
a
War.
13, which misses. Again, the claw sort of striking against your arcane armor that's there. This next school goes, the one in front of Kellen, and it is going to cut at you the very same way. That's a 10. That misses. Alaric, your quarry has been taken from you. Thankfully, there are more to fill that slot.
That's right.
Crazy.
And if Alaric heard Uria's directions, it isn't shown. More importantly, his newly gained vile facial deformities don't seem conducive to demonstrating any kind of human awareness, so there's little to tell off of it alone. What he does do, however, is come barreling through the small room in a violent hurl of his body, and he will, as his paws violently fork through the ground, leaving behind these, well, actually it's metal, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so he just scrape at the metal, be like this grinding noise as he attempts to crash into the ghoul and shove it to the ground
That's
with
it.
shoulder body check.
Oh, are you attempting to shove it?
Yeah.
Perfect. Let's see an athletics check.
Wow.
There are other numbers. You've rolled, I think, the most natural 20s so far tonight. That's an 11. It's prone. And it can't move.
So he can't stand up.
No.
Right. Alaric, as he slams the ghoul to the ground, he essentially leaps past it. Right here. And that is where we're going to end my turn.
Okay. Ashilda.
I am going to reach out and firebolt the one in front of me again.
Let's see it.
A wise maneuver, it remarks at its breath.
Very well struck, I must say.
Oh,
Jolly good.
you've nicked me.
More than enough. Punching a hole through its cranium with your firebolt, its body shudders violently before collapsing to the floor.
When she'll just kind of reach out and touch it on the forehead and say "Inferno" again, and just
Oh, I do believe I'm done.
It's really thirsty in here.
Good game, everyone, as it does.
Good game.
Mighty May, it's over.
My
done
chance.
indeed.
I've been vanquished. Avenge me.
Are you doing anything else on your turn?
I'm moving.
Perfect. You have plenty of opportunity to do so.
I may fall, but my ally shall surely decimate you in a rowdy hang of fisticuffs.
Have at thee, scoundrel.
Rapscallion.
Perfect. Casting firebolt through the ghoul's forehead, you move. Are you doing anything else with your turn?
Negatory.
Perfect. Kellen Aldane faced off against the flailing ghoul on the floor. It is prone, which would give you advantage on melee. And you're flanking.
Holy shit.
Hit his ass.
Gug. All right. Without preamble. Yeah. Please. Thank you.
Advantage, remember.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
Please.
It's,
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know.
that hits.
Kathunk.
Striking downwards, it's still alive, but mortal.
I'm gonna give it that offhand. Oh, yeah, that's right.
That is more than enough. 9 points of damage, absolutely just beheads the ghoul.
Yeah, I think that's he'll spin both of the scimitars in his hand and then just do that sweeping cut, that trying to silence it as quickly as possible by removing its head from its body.
Why don't you go ahead and roll me a perception check, Kellen?
Oh boy.
Ripping your scimitar from the lang from the ghoul's body, you would see the last ghoul that remains, and it's already looking over its shoulder, like getting ready to run.
Well, I was gonna say that now that I'm, because I can move through my buddies, right, easily enough.
Yes. To move through this creature, it is difficult terrain.
So it'd be 10 feet.
Yeah.
15, 20. Okay.
Perfect.
We're still good. Yeah. Yeah, this is good. So I'm gonna come around the other side to make sure that when it comes around to Silverill's turn, she has that flank.
And it is Silverill's turn.
Nice. Get it.
Upon looking back, her expression will grow cold. A very cold expression. And she will turn her body to face it and attack.
Let's see it. You have a +2 to your attack rolls.
Okay. We get advantage for flanking?
No, you get a +2. But an 11 base is already good enough. You hit, dealing 6 points of damage.
With a psionic strike.
Let's see it. An additional 4. Empowering the swing of your flail and sort of striking against the body of this creature. You would see it sort of slump down momentarily and then right itself. It still looks like it's going to flee. But it is bloodied.
Noted.
You fucked it up. That's good.
Are you doing anything else on your turn? Yeah?
I really don't want it to escape.
It's gonna try.
There's
What do
3
you mean?
opportunity attacks.
What do you mean,
I
try?
mean, yeah,
Well-
it's gonna have to beat 3 opportunity attacks if it wants to go anywhere.
You'll
so.
see. Don't worry. What are you doing? Silurill von Ashford, ward of House Ashford of the Ettenmoor. Reaction surging. Nice.
That cold stare, it looks like it could freeze. It is an uncharacteristic stare of hers, as the dance is not over. And she will swing, attacking it again.
That hits, dealing an additional 6 damage to it, bringing it within that mortal range, and it looks even more desperate to flee now. We're empowering, okay?
Wow. Yeah.
These 2 consecutive strikes with the Wrath just slamming against this ghoul, causing its body to almost fall in on itself. That final strike sort of catching the ghoul entirely and just causing its body to collapse to the floor.
Yeah, as she swings the flail, it's almost like the swing sound as the air passes through the dragon heads on this flail. It's like a low grumble.
With that final strike, that slam of the body and flail against the metal floor, sending out that reverberation. With that, combat is over. All ghouls have been defeated.
Heaving. Her chest is heaving as her shoulders rise and fall, panting.
Alaric's rage dissipates.
Do you unbeastify when that happens?
Yes. It's like an icy, I don't know, like a, 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 sort of form of a kind of flame that, like steam, rises off of his shoulders, his head, his back, and his whole body shudders for a moment and then begins diminishing entirely. That addition of muscle and bones and the twisting of his limbs all disappears and dissipates, and he shrinks back down to average size Alaric, looking slightly shaken, but otherwise himself.
Panting, Silril will place the bottom of her boot on the shouldered area of the ghoul and pull her flail free from its body.
As that adrenaline begins to settle within the party, you hear it return, that audible sort of hum that filters through the chamber, that resonating sound that fades in and out, this repeating pattern, as if it had all been drowned out in the combat.
What is that? Why does it sound creature breathing in the walls?
Don't know.
Would I have read anything in regards to places like this?
Ugh. You?
In Tharkin's Deep? Yeah.
No. The only reason you know this is Third Age is because of the style of architecture. But this place, its purpose, it remains hidden to you currently.
DM, would I know anything about the Tainted?
Why don't you roll me an Arcana check?
Sure, I can try to do that.
Can I assist her?
No,
I
this
don't
is
have
a
Arcana.
this is a personal roll. Give me just a moment. Let's
They're
see
ugly.
if you can recall anything about the Tainted. You would not. Despite the sort of major threats that attack Malgrove, the Tainted aren't one of them. The Tainted are almost like boogeymen. The things that are written about them are as such, which I will give you, but any further lore you'll have to find. The power of undeath is one bestowed to many figures. A dark ritual that has been used over countless centuries, with its origins being traced back to the times of Eld. Comprised of recently fallen and grave-stained bones of bitter ancient warriors, the Tainted are undead that have been raised to serve once more. Provided that their remains have not been blessed by individuals of God-sworn power, these fallen warriors can be instilled with a semblance of life and a flicker of a spirit to march once more. Silently, they gather together in a semblance of old ranks, mutely awaiting the commands of their new lord as the remains of their tattered banners flap in the unnatural breeze of their creation. Lipless horn blowers raise their instruments and sound a spectral, mournful dirge.
Are the Tainted local to Tyros, or are they like a worldwide thing?
The Tainted are Tarosian. The people of Carousel just refer to them by generally being undead.
Ew.
The Tainted, so far underground. I guess we know what happened to the people here.
Not always underground, but either they were eaten, or this is what's left of them.
With that remark, do any of these Tainted seem child-sized?
Oh my god.
No, none of them are child-sized.
These things have a name.
Why don't you roll me, because you asked, Jerry, why don't you roll me an investigation check? As the others are talking, referencing these creatures, you would note that along the back, like the back of the skull, just where the neck and the base of the skull meet, there is a symbol there. And as you find it on one, you would find it on all of them. This symbol. I posted in CTF Talks.
Ooh, I like that.
How history repeats itself.
Right?
Mr. DM, does this symbol, is it recognizable to Yuria?
Why don't you roll me a history check?
All right.
Yuri Zairi, heir of House Athelian.
Nope.
It doesn't. Maybe. Behind one of the closed doors you were never allowed to go behind. But you don't know.
At least for now.
Nevertheless, Yuria gives one careful look down this hallway as her fingers leave the nape of the neck of the one she killed. Stole from Alaric.
You would see the continuation what the others hadn't with your superior dark vision, seeing beyond this chamber here and seeing that the hallway continues and sort of breaks away to another path. This complex is massive.
Stepping forward to answer Alaric's question. Rana kind of skirting the corpses of the tainted here.
Yes, they're undead. Usually created to serve something or someone. That's all I know, though.
You mean to tell me they're under the control of something?
Perhaps. If the stories are to be believed, that's the reason people create these.
And she kind of jabs at one with the end of her rapier.
What?
This-
Necromancers?
Continue.
Sorry, there were two people talking.
No, continue.
Errant spellcasters like that, yes. Sometimes there's stories, nothing concrete. Areas where tragedy happens. Some say the land itself causes them to raise up for its purposes, but that's all rumors.
By the sound of it, rumors is the only thing we can trust.
At this point, Yuria rises, letting out a long sigh as she realizes the depth of this place. She turns on a heel and pulls her blade and joins it with Morana's, sort of tilting the head to reveal the symbol. The lands didn't do this. All of them have this symbol at the nape of their neck. 5 spikes on a half circle.
Kellen will use his lang to tilt the head of the one that's in front of him to check for that being the case.
All of them.
Assuming, yeah.
Silver would have lifted it for him as she's trying to close their eyes.
I suppose this symbol is familiar to anybody in the group who's looking at it.
It is not, which is worrisome.
I hope everyone enjoyed exerting themselves in this little foray. Looking down the hall, it looks like we have a ways to go. I suggest we be more careful with this. She snaps over and snatches up the lantern.
Well, not all of us can see in the dark, you know.
Maybe those who can should take lead before we start flashing our enemies once again.
I would also like to point out, I think if this place is a wee bit larger, and it's probably a wee bit larger than we were anticipating, maybe we need to appropriately supply before coming back down here.
What kind of supplies would you want? We've got rations, water.
Well, I don't think we would be finding any food or anything down here.
Hence the rations.
Alright
What?
then.
We're not here to draw a map. We'll look for the children and then we'll leave.
Yuri gives the broken wall suspicious glance. And while she does so, you can see her hand sort of hovering over the lantern, and using control flames, the light dims.
It's a hooded lantern. You can dim it manually.
Yeah, but that's not nearly as much of a flex.
It's not, but as a bonus
I turn it
action,
blue.
you can dim the light.
I turn it red.
So the light reduces to 5 feet.
Fine.
I have to take away the light from killing.
Yeah, I love being
Hey!
fucking useless, guys.
Hey, Yuria, you did it. You snuffed the light. Good job.
All right, guys, I'll see you later. My character's done. I did it.
All right, Yuri. Having dimmed the light, forcing you all into this darkness. What are you all doing?
Silril has closed the eyes of all the creatures back there, making sure they're closed and at somewhat rest, and is doing the same to these two.
Okay. Technically, it's three. They're piled on top of each other.
Well, she'll get to that one.
Okay. Well, Silril's doing that. What are the rest of you doing?
Yuria, still able to see fine, would go over towards the broken wall. Helen, were you not investigating this? She sort of hovers the dim light over the wall before we were interrupted.
That might be worth checking into.
I hadn't heard anything come from it while we were fighting. But I suppose that means very little.
Yeah.
Alaric?
Does that wall seem shovable?
Indeed it does.
Very well. Alaric
DC
will take the
is
shovel to it.
15.
Oh. In comes the shovel.
Yuria takes a step back.
More than enough. You clear the passage with no issue, revealing what lays beyond. The most immediate thing is the stench that permeates the moment that seal of broken rubble is sort of dislodged, forcing out this stench of death.
And he'd more acutely sense it than before.
It's as if this room had just been sealed and just sort of fermenting, and then you had broken it.
The fact
thus
that there's
allowing all of
smell,
that out.
like in this otherwise incredibly sedated, dry place, the fact that there's a stench, like a pungency coming off of it, is alerting enough.
And you would find the source almost immediately. The otherwise decomposed corpse here. It appears to
I
be
imagine
an elven woman of some sort.
the one in front of Alaric.
Indeed. But most of her flesh is completely gaunt, if not otherwise just sort of eroded. You would see portions of the skin peeled back to reveal segments of bone beneath. You would note as well that upon just even a cursory glance that there are numerous wounds across her body. Sort of deeper lacerations.
Any bloating?
Yes.
Oh. Could Alaric kind of discern the freshness of this corpse?
Why don't you roll me a nature check?
Oh, we're good at that. Oh my god. Yeah. We're not.
You won't be able to discern the exact time, but it's not fresh. It's just been time capsuled, so to speak.
Oh, what's the term for that?
This is like the worst hotboxing ever.
Effectively, the pressure and the lack of oxygen in this room sort of stopped the decay.
Right, and now that we opened it, it's
Yeah.
germinating, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
You would also notice, because you have very acute eyes, a glow from here at the sort of edge of this wall or panel.
Rather than approach it immediately, he will look through the hole, meet his gaze with Urias, and tilts his head towards the light. Some kind of glow in a body.
You can see Urias is sort of trying to deal with the stench rolling out. Yeah, you can see the stiffness. All right. She offers the lantern back to Kellen. Please be more careful with that. You and Marana both need to rely on it, but understand that what you can see can be seen.
Oh, I'm
can't
acutely
see you.
aware. I was just thinking that it might have been better for me to see it first. But, if that is the consensus, I will just stumble around blindly while we walk around this place. Not a problem.
Maybe just let others look first.
Are you keeping the lantern dim?
I guess so.
Okay.
Urias. Takes a step in the entranceway and then looks around. Where's Cinnamon?
Barely make out her shape, but I think she's in the corridor here.
She's currently bent over one of the ghouls, crossing his arms and closing its eyes.
As you step in, you all would hear it, the sort of crunch of glass, the shuffling of stone in here, as your compatriots move about.
Shilda would be interested and walk over to that wall as well and go through.
You're carefully to step around the decomposed body.
You would catch it immediately as well upon entering. This sort of faint red glow from this. It's about waist high, almost like a plinth that sort of raises from these small dark metal steps. The sort of narrow mount with it sort of flaring out at the top to create this flat surface with this red gem adorned directly on top of it.
Does it seem similar to the crystal technology from Volandris?
There are faint similarities.
She looks back. Shieldy, could you perhaps check to make sure this room is clear of any magical effects, namely that crystal?
Yeah, give me 10 minutes, and I will cast Detect Magic as a ritual.
10 minutes. Okay. What is everybody else doing?
Going to be looking into the room. Once Yuria and Ashilda step inside, Alaric will begin very slowly, investigatively looking around the room itself.
Roll me investigation.
Alaric, she will reach out. I don't like the look of that crystal, not in this place. Best not to get near it until we know it is safe. She jerks her head backwards towards Ashilde, currently casting the ritual.
He gives a very subtle nod of the head.
And do mind the glass.
With a
Can't help
21,
it.
your attention is drawn to the most notable items here in this room. The largest or most sort of one that catches your attention first, aside from the console, is another sort of like knee-high, what appears to be this like dark metal, almost box with like various pieces of scattered glass on top of it. From here, it's hard to make out a lot of the details, but it does appear to have something on its surface.
He, rather than approach it, would reach out with a hand and motion to it vaguely for Juria. There's something there. Some kind of box.
She follows his gaze.
What, we do not step up to it? We wait?
Are you...
Afraid? No. Never. He seems afraid.
I was going to say impatient.
Maybe a little bit. I don't want to stand around in a place like this.
We're going to have to. This place is a lot larger than I think any of us realizes. Looking down the hall, it extends beyond even my vision.
I understand you want to be cautious. And it is a good trait to be cautious. But wouldn't we maybe potentially lose opportunities by standing around?
You can see her, as you're complimenting her, she folds her arms and sort of cocks her hip, like waiting for the butt. We don't know the nature of this place. It would not do for us to stumble about. I would have hoped that lesson would have been taught with our most recent encounter. I notice how much you and Cyril exerted yourselves on those ghouls, but we don't know how much else is down here. It would be a shame if you were to be injured before we had even begun. Just from something as simple as that. She points to the gem.
Think it might attack us in some way? Lash out?
She looks behind her to the corpse. There was a reason this place was sealed, with that one inside.
Perhaps it waited out the ghouls, trying to hide. And then starvation did the rest.
How much flesh is on this corpse?
It's mummified.
You see her wander up to the corpse and with her blade sort of tries to push back what's left of the hair to expose the nape of the neck.
No mark. You would find as you push back the hair that there's like a very deep gash there across the neck, like a sort of missing skin, very jagged cuts in the flesh that's otherwise dried. Or sorry, not dried, it's very slick.
You see her pause. Not seeing what she wanted to see, but definitely seeing something. Alaric, look at this. I don't think this woman died of starvation.
He goes on to look.
Judging by the wounds, she bled to death in here.
What sort of wounds are they?
There is a bite mark, a very large bite mark across her neck, sort of over her chest, over her throat, and then over her back, as well as numerous small lacerations across the entirety of her body.
Alaric takes to squat beside the body. His gaze, cute as it is, surveying the many wounds and injuries across her, desiccated on the flesh, dry as they are. He has a finger that he uses to trail each cut, each deformity and mangled portions of her flesh, following them like a writer follows calligraphy. You're right. It wasn't a lack of oxygen or food, it was some kind of attack. Perhaps bringing down the wall was her last-ditch effort. Who knows?
Bringing down the wall.
Putting a pause there. Kellen, Marana, and Siluriel, why don't you three roll me a perception check?
Okay.
Already like 17s.
You all would hear it. It's distant at first, this sort of rhythmic thud. Different from the sound that is consistent. It sort of reverberates and echoes through the walls. This happens about 3 or 4 times before fading.
What was that?
I don't know. Celeral, we should regroup with the others.
Zoro continues.
If you're not like moving the corpses outside of just folding their arms and closing their eyes, it's not a lengthy process. You'd have been
She
able to.
knows.
Oh. What else are you doing?
She's finishing the process.
Okay.
Seeing that Silurel isn't moving, Marana frowns and kind of directs Kellen to at least move towards the entrance of the
He'll just follow her if she's leading, since she can see and he cannot.
She's just gonna kind of kip up against the wall over here and just kind of like every so often look around the corner, make sure Silurel's still there.
Okay. 10 minutes passed. You
In
cast detect. Yes.
In that 10-minute span, can I have used my because it only takes a minute for primeval awareness. I use that since I basically can't do anything. No.
Sure.
There you go.
You detect your.
Yeah, he's basically trying to detect like any monstrosities.
Let's see.
Within 5 miles, so
You would not. It
no
would be
monstrosities.
no
5 miles,
monstrosities.
Okay. Well, in some ways that's a relief. In other ways, that's kind of worrying.
All right. Your 10 minutes passed, allowing you to begin perceiving or detecting magic. Okay, give me just a moment. You detect nothing. Aside from the glow of your compatriots, there is no magic in this room.
Huh.
Even the crystal does not radiate any sort of magic.
There's nothing here. She'll step out a little bit.
Stepping out into the room proper, expanding your sort of vision, this field with this magic, you detect nothing. Again, sort of even parsing the items that drew the most interest, this like plinth and the crate, neither of them have magic to them.
Do I see that chest?
You would see what appears to be like a chest lid and then a completely hollow bottom. Like a few pieces of wood that make up effectively the bottom of the chest, like it's been rotted out through the bottom.
Understood. So even looking at the chest with the glass on it, it's nothing coming from. I mean, there's nothing coming from the crystal or anywhere else.
We found a crystal in there.
Yes, a red glowing one.
Why not take it with us, even if we just put it in a pocket or something?
Bad idea, actually.
So do you want me to try and get it out of its little...
I don't know. I can't see. How is it attached?
She'll step ever closer to the crystal.
It is a part of this plinth. The form of it is like embedded within. It's not like a free floating crystal or anything like that. It is bound within this this plinth.
It's really stuck in there. I mean, it's like part of it. It's not like floating or anything. Are there any like Keith holding it in, or is it just like flat in?
Flat in. You would notice being this close as well that there are a number of like strange lines that sort of denote something that follow either side of the crystal. You can see it here on the map if you zoom in close enough. You can see what appear to be strange lines and breaks, dashes, straight lines at angles, and they sort of continue down on either side of them.
I'm going to flip open my book, manifest my quill, and copy each side.
Okay.
Does it look like a writing, or does it look different?
It doesn't look like anything. When you copy it down, it looks like a series of lines.
Are they diagonal? Are they up and down? Are they straight? Are they both?
They are all of that. It is a series of these types of lines. Broken up in weird formations. Differing patterns.
Are they like movable, or is it just engraved?
Engraved.
Area moving around Eshield to peer around the corner.
Peering around the corner reveals very much the same. This massive piles of refuse that have just been stuffed into the corners. Again, mattresses, tables, like dressers and the like. People lived here. These are people's homes. And you would see as well the sort of tattered rugs that you would be stepping over.
Yuria announces it. This seems like a place where people, well, lived. At least a long time ago.
You are met by
Amazing.
silence.
It's a possibility. I'm kind of studying those lines to see if, like, they touch, like, maybe depiction of the hallways, anything like that. Kind of giving it a study over.
Why don't you roll me an intelligence check? This is alien. You
Oh
have
my God.
no idea what any of this
Durr.
means.
Durr.
It's not even that nat 1. Just trying to denote a purpose from these symbols, you gain nothing. It is completely alien.
So, with that, a shield is going to call in who she believes is the next smartest in the party. Miss Silveril!
What is it?
I'd like for you to come take a look at something.
There are many minds in there. Or maybe one of them could. I am keeping watch.
Very well. Miss Morana,
Oh, yes.
come take a look at this and tell me what you think.
Oh, I can try. She'll kind of, again, gingerly step around the corpse.
And the reason why she went to Morana next is she's barely heard her speak, so she hasn't passed this. She hasn't judged on whether she thinks she is stupid or not.
You would be presented with the plinth here, sort of waist high, comprised of this dark metal. With, as you approach, you would see the numerous lines that line either side of this, making up a strange, inconsistent patterns.
Looking at the patterns and thinking back to my previous check that I did in the house, would it seem even vaguely reminiscent of the quote-unquote old magics?
No.
And it doesn't seem to represent a language.
Not a language you understand.
Could I make a stab to see what kind of alphabet it might be from?
Give me
You know what? I'm wasting another spell. Screw it.
If you're gonna cast comprehend languages, I'm gonna tell you it's not gonna work.
Okay, never mind.
We gotta know what it says.
But yeah, maybe like history to determine the script.
It is not a script.
Hmm.
It is completely alien.
Doesn't look like a language. Maybe it's some sort of code.
Now my next question. Do you want me to try and use my tools to try and jimmy this crystal out of its resting place, or no?
Marana kind of winces at the idea and casts a look to Yuria momentarily before immediately bringing that gaze back to Ashilda.
Yuri is already shaking her head.
So no then. Great. Alright.
Don't know what it does. And you said there's no magic in it?
No. But it's glowing.
Maybe it just glows naturally.
Ew.
Or perhaps it's powered by something else.
Yeah, while they are conversing the crystal, Yuria would like to turn her attention and investigate the rotted out chest.
It's a rotted out chest.
Wow, is there anything inside the rotted out chest?
Filth.
Nice.
It appears to
Yay!
have been like soiled clothes that have mildewed, like personal belongings that have since rotted away with time.
What about the weird symbols on the top of the chest?
Oh, you're talking about this chest?
Yes, that chest.
That chest is not rotted. This chest is
Oh.
comprised of a dark black metal, and you would see, the closer you are, it has those same symbols on top of it in numerous rows. You would see that there are, in the middle is a set of 3 lines that sort of meet a circle.
Okay. So this is the rotted out chest over here.
This is the rotted out chest. This is the
Oh.
rotted out chest.
Wow.
This is the crate.
Understood. That's great.
I saw that. What you just did. It's not a good look.
You would also notice, the longer you sort of look at it, that the 3 lines that meet a circle are sort of like a divot in the metal. The only divot, I might add.
Three lines on a circle, huh?
Correct.
Is there any indication of being able to open the chest? Like any handle or anything?
Oh, no, there are no seams.
So just the divots.
Just the divots. Looking around it, it appears to be like a solid piece. No handles. There's the faint seam on the floor that tells you it could be lifted, but you're not sure how you would lift this thing.
I'm assuming by the look, this thing's basically metal.
It is solid metal.
Get the crystal. What do you make of this thing? She asks the party behind her.
Huh, what? Oh. Ashilda will walk over.
You would see the same thing. All of you would, as your attention is drawn to it. The sort of dark metal crate that's here, sort of raised up at like an angle that sort of then flares out. You would see these strange sort of protrusions on the sides, and then the numerous scrawlings of those lines on top that center around a divot in the center that is a circle with 3 lines protruding from it, all sort of adjacent to one another.
I'm going to pull out my book and compare the lines.
Very similar.
Is it the same symbols in a row?
Not in a row. They're in a completely different pattern, but same lines. And there are numerous of them on this one. No line on this crate is the same.
But do they match any of the lines over on the thingy?
Yes. There's only 5 lines. Or 5, like, symbols. And they all repeat, making up different patterns.
This is all very interesting, but none of it explains what happened to the woman. It looked like something attacked her from behind, but I don't see anything that could have done so.
With that, Ashilda will look up to see if there's any holes in the ceiling.
Glancing upwards? No. You would note, as you peer upwards though, what appeared to be a metal grate of some sort. About 2 in this room.
She'll direct everybody's attention to the grates.
So, why don't you roll me a perception check?
Okay.
Why don't you roll me a wisdom save? You feel a tug. More of a suggestion. To wander forward. Towards this path.
How much of a suggestion?
You rolled a 9, so it's a pretty good idea.
But I can see everything from where I am. I can see them. I can see this way. I can see this way. I don't want to go up there.
It's a pretty good idea.
Could I tell them? Or do I just feel like I should go there?
You feel like you should go that way.
This is dumb. You know, they got it handled.
That's
I don't know anything
effectively
about lines.
that's effectively your train of thought, where you're like, what do they need me for? And then you start walking. Why doesn't everybody roll me a perception check?
I was gonna say, can we hear her walking?
Lines be mad weird, yo. I'm out.
That shit's scary.
Yo, it's nerd shit.
Those who want to roll perception, you may.
That's fucking amazing.
Shilda, you are far too occupied with this crate the secrets here are just beyond, beyond caring for others. Alaric? What are you
Sir,
doing, brother?
we're looking at this pseudo quasi tiny little chest we have here on the side.
Okay. The rest of you would hear it then. The retreating steps of chainmail rattling the echo through the hallways.
Ching, 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 ching.
And that's where we're going to take a 30-minute break.
She always does this. She always just
Mhm.
walks off,
Man.
like always.
Bro, why are you splitting?
Don't ask me, bro. I was just trying to keep watch on everybody. How long of a break?
30 minutes.
Jeez, Louise. I'll go take a nap.
You're literally late every time.
Well, last time I was like, so I threw up. That's different. I threw up.
You're up.
It's that cat meme where the mouth is just all, I threw up.
Shitter's clock.
I was only late by a minute. I think that's pretty good for somebody who threw up.
True. You threw up like a champ.
Fucking. It was awful. I don't know what it was about the breakfast that day, but it was bad. Because I had breakfast like a couple days later from the same place, and it was fine.
Everybody, please show back up at 10 or at 36, please.
I was fine.
I am okay.
To the party, which party would cause a global conflict on accident? And who would be the one responsible?
Secrets of Eurest and Oberon. Flat, hands down, easy peasy. No cap.
That's funny, because I said Secrets of Eurus, but Talanos.
No, Talanos would provide Oberon with the means to cause a global catastrophe by accident.
Return of the Storm. All of us.
doesn't exist.
Secret Reverse.
Well, Secrets of Eurus is causing a global catastrophe at this very moment, so...
No, we're not.
Who in the party, then?
Oberon is trying to solve a catastrophe. He's the
That's
one
what I said.
making the catastrophe.
That's what I
not
said.
all of us.
Remember,
Oberon.
they're level 10, which means they have the world to destroy in the palm of their hands, basically.
It's like Oberon.
They have...
Oberon, can you stop this?
Oberon. It's a little rainy out here.
This is what like one of the lines would look like, by the way.
So he has just enough power to break everything.
And fix it.
Yep.
Wait. Sorry, I missed that question.
We all said Oberon.
Oh, no. You know, funny, I was thinking the same thing.
DM, why are you doing like
Yeah.
ASCII art?
DM said Talanos.
That's
but I
what
was
the
like,
lines make up. Like, that's just one of the examples of what the lines make
It
up.
looks like a quirky, like, emo kid trying to make cute faces. That's what it looks like to me. With the third age, just a bunch of... Never mind.
Yeah.
Woo.
If that's what you want to go with.
I don't like that. Why does it look like a spider?
What's the point?
I don't like him. Make him go away.
Global conflict by accident. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Alaric as well, we had talked about that chest. The bottom is completely rotted out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you're just... you just want to pilfer it?
It's just fascinating.
You're just letting other people,
Gotcha.
do the thing.
That cat do be screaming.
I'm competitive.
This must be like a Simon Says thing. Smile. So the first one you posted here, is that on the chest, and the second one's like on the...
The first one I posted is like an example of the lines. Like those are the only symbols there, those 5 lines. And they're broken up into weird different patterns, like the one I showed below it.
Oh.
Let me see if I can, real quick.
That's neat. That seems like something that we'll discover later on.
Which part? The lines or the global
lines.
conflict? Oh, okay.
Both. Both our problems will break later. I can't wait for it to be like, you would just align them all in one, like, you make one singular line, and it opens up, and it's like a washing machine. You see, like, old moldy clothes. Half washed.
The lines don't move, by the way. Like...
Why not? Why not, you ignorant bastard?
Oh boy, it's puzzle time, and I'm dumb as shit.
This feels like, this got like that Riven vibe, bro, where they just give you a puzzle. You're just like, I can't solve this yet. I don't have the key.
What does it mean?
What does it mean? Why are these random like balls drilled in the side of a mountain, and why do they make weird animal noises? I don't know. Let's figure it out 30 minutes from now. You gotta solve the other puzzle to get to the key to this puzzle. In fact, this is probably the end game chest, and once we kill like the final boss at the end of this dungeon, we'll get like the answer to this chest, and we have to crawl all the way back.
I'm gonna save you the trouble. That's not the case.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Of course it's not the case. It's a box.
This is what the symbol, the imprint on the top looks like.
Why is it giving me the middle finger? It's a king. He's got a crown. Is this like one of those Rorschach things where it's like, what do you see in this image?
No.
I think it's a claw.
Can we shove stuff into the divot? Or is it just a divot, not a hole?
Yeah, you can press stuff to the divot. That guy Zach was 6 months. Thank you very much for the resub. I appreciate that. And Momo with the 9. Make Dante love you. I don't know. He loves me.
Oof.
He loves Tristan.
That's the way of the cat, though. The one that wants to have the cat love them the most is the one that the cat ignores.
That is very true. The more you
That's a cat thing.
the more you like vie for their attention, the more they're like, ew, no.
Well, why would I have to work for that? I already have it.
Try being allergic to cats. That'll
True. They will
instantly
love you.
work.
Set something down that you don't want the cat to sit on, and they will appear like magic.
Or
Like fresh clothes that you just folded.
oh yeah.
Moths
Or-
to
Especially
a
if they're
flame.
especially if they're right out of the dryer.
Mm-hmm. Or get up from your seat for 5 fucking minutes. Isn't that right, Bee? Isn't that right, Bee? Sitting in my chair.
Have I ever thought about doing a campaign where the party is actually monsters and they have to deal with adventurers trying to kill them? No. It's a fun idea, but
That would
nothing
be-
I've considered.
Pretty funny.
I was in something like that. It was very short-lived.
I go outside my cave just to prune my flowers, and this party of 5 rolls up. Couple plate wearers, couple casters, and I just want to do my gardening, but no.
What's your garden full of?
Human brains.
I'm human gardening.
Children bones.
My fertilizer is made out of unborn children. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Tomatos.
You mean tomatoes?
No.
I said what I said.
What's your garden? Growing mushrooms on the corpses that are buried in the garden?
You joke, but that's literally another character of mine.
Is that the one you're playing with? God.
What are all these logs doing in your front yard? Yes, logs. Don't look too closely.
Oh my god. Your biggest enemy's gonna be the police. All of you.
What do you guys think of the?
Anywhere we go, law enforcement is our enemy.
What do you think of the ambience currently? This place.
That repeating droning noise
You know.
is putting me to sleep.
Noted.
Well, it's okay. The way Silverill's going, we won't have to worry about it for long.
Well, it's just like I'm counting the drones as they go on, and that's bad.
Why?
Because I don't know.
Stop it. It's just background noise. I think the ambience is pretty good, you know? It's I wouldn't rate this like a 10 out of 10 place to vacation, but
No,
it's all right. No.
dude, people leave glowing reviews.
It
about
does
this place.
have air conditioning though, which is a pog. That's pretty nice.
It does have air conditioning, correct? Those
But-
are ventilation shafts.
Not much in the way of like landscape. Like there's no windows, which is kind of a problem.
Ooh.
And the neighbors are a little rowdy.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to ask that question when we return. Okay.
No question.
Just about the great.
Can you immediately expose yourself and get into them?
What do you mean immediately exposed? I'm not getting naked.
I scaled the wall, Dungeon Master.
Oh, that thing.
Well, Marana, I see what we're thinking of right now. Exposed.
No.
To a killing
I
blow.
mean, well, but like, yes, if I had an inclination, are they people-sized?
Yes.
Hate that.
Would you like to see the map?
What? I mean, I'm looking at the map.
Would you like to see the ventilation map?
Oh, fuck me sideways.
Wow. We really got a little inspired today. They're on the ceiling, right? So you made that entire ventilation system for Marana because no one else is getting up there. Wow, that's really thoughtful.
I hope you go in there.
Oh no. No, I know what happens when people go in ventilation shafts alone.
I'm one of you.
I roll to assert dominance over the ghouls.
Hey, yo, is that spit coming out from that vent? Gross.
How was your first experience with the Ioverse yesterday as a session 0? It was great. I vibed incredibly well with the party. I'm super excited to play on the 31st. Suddenly, Alien Isolation. Congratulations. You found one of the inspirations for this map.
Yeah, when you gave me the title of today's session, I'm like, alright.
Biohazard.
I'm like, it's either, I forgot what my first thing was, or it's, original Resident Evil. Because I believe it was called Biohazard before it was called Resident Evil.
I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
I'm also thinking of this other fucking thing that I watched a while back.
I'm already surprised about how quickly our fighters disappear.
You guys did
Bye.
insanely well against the ghouls, by the way. I think Alaric was the only one who got hit.
I
Which
want to
is
say we
saying
did.
something.
really well. The only issue is that we used a lot of our resources on that fight. We just started this fight, guys.
Spend everything.
That was what? An action surge, 2 psionic dice, a rage, a leveled spell.
From you and Ashilda, yeah?
Yeah. Or
Just
2
so they
level spells
cast-
from Ashilda. Shield
Yeah.
and cone.
Nice.
So that
Second
was a
room
pretty
in, baby.
that was an expensive fight.
Do.
For admittedly relatively weak intro enemies.
They were just ghouls.
I know, that's the problem.
They were rolling really bad. Like, really, really bad.
I don't know, Chief. I saw that initiative.
Their initiatives were fucking awesome. But to hit, they couldn't roll above like an 8. And to hit most of the party you're going to need higher than that. How does it feel to know Momo's a goddess in your new campaign you're playing in? Pretty cool. My guy is an atheist, though. So... He's
like, that's cool, I guess.
Yeah, he has faith in himself. He doesn't have faith in the gods.
You've got a
Momo's god character comes and smites you.
She
ADM.
could, if she could get out of her god jail. What's up?
Damn.
Notice how we have the kind of party who just doesn't bat an eye to one of their friends is turning into a fucking lion man? Like, fuck it.
There's a lot
It's
we
just
gotta do
Another
with it.
day.
There's a lot going on.
Listen,
It's like,
we're pretty close to Rowfield, and I don't know what your parentage is, so I'll just leave you to it.
You always were kind of a weird one.
oh no, see you beat something with your fucking claws, and Parada has questions. She will remember that. But
Oh, boy,
that's
oh,
not
boy,
a
oh, boy.
now thing.
I hope you're ready.
No.
You should be. Prepare yourself, gamer.
How much time do we have left?
You have 13 minutes.
Great. We're back.
Is that why you changed from paladin to artificer? No. I was going to be a faithless paladin anyway, because he allows clerics and paladins to not worship gods in his world. You draw faith and inspiration from yourself. But I picked artificer because I read artificer more and I was like, holy fuck, this is literally everything I wanted to play. I wanted to play a support operator. Like, he has cure wounds, fairy fire, expeditious retreat, long strider. He has like mending and stuff, like spare the dying. A lot of his buffs or his infusions are for the party, for like enhanced armor, enhanced weapons, magical strength armor, stuff like that. Correct. This is also the party who ignores a sickly noblewoman who has done ridiculous acts of acrobatics in the past. Agreed.
We didn't ignore that. We've actually raised that question several times, Zebus. You're just not paying attention. Or you missed the episode where we literally had an argument about it. Try to keep up, Zebus. I know it's a lot.
They tried, but she's dodging those questions like she's a candidate for senator.
Simply not answering isn't dodging a question.
Yeah, walking
It's
away is not is not
Like,
dodging.
ooh.
How political.
Oh, that's a good question.
That's a wonderful question. Not answering.
Your Honor, I simply refuse to answer.
Oh, can she do that? Looks to the jury shrugs.
She's not the only one who's less than forthcoming in the party, though, so it's not like it's a one-person thing. There's a lot of them.
What?
Who
What do you
else?
Explain.
Mm,
What are you hiding, Colin?
Yeah, is it Kellen?
no.
What are you
Somebody
hiding?
else is also keeping secrets. Twirls
I see.
mustache.
Yeah, I see you pointing one finger, but there's 4 fingers pointed back at you, bud. What are you hiding? What's your secret? What's your game, Armstrong?
Not really much. I mean, if you're talking about Kellen specifically, it's just, I imagine that people don't actually know a whole lot about him beyond who he's affiliated with. But I mean, like we don't, as a group, we don't actually know a lot about Uria, for example. We don't know a lot about Silril, for example. I mean, like we are, in effect, loosely tied as a group.
You guys know a lot about Uria.
Do we?
Yeah.
Alric has talked to her a lot
She's been
as an individual.
incredibly forthcoming.
Incredibly.
Almost dangerously so.
Incredibly.
It hasn't been my experience, but okay.
Well, maybe you should talk to her more.
Well, see it as an inverse. Killen knows the most about Marana, more than anybody else in the party. So it kind of makes sense that information on an individual basis is sort of spread out throughout the party rather than, uniformly known.
Compartmentalized or something.
Correct.
I want to call the break early. Is everybody back?
I don't.
What do
understand
you
why-
think, Mr. Dion?
I have not
Has
even
anyone
understood
ever been?
the reasoning of why you're doing 30-minute breaks now? No, just saying.
You don't?
I don't understand it. No.
You don't understand it?
No.
How many times were we on time when he said 15-minute breaks? Let's
Are you
consider.
saying we or
We as a group. When did the session start within the 15-minute break call?
when does the session start on time within the 30-minute break call? Though the problem hasn't changed. It's just taken longer.
I think the hope was that it would have been changed.
Well,
To the party. Now that you're in a horror movie, who do you think is going to die first?
Shane.
Who?
Shame.
Shane's dead? All right. Let me adjust my notes real quick. Hold on.
Fucking dead.
Hey, yo.
Adjusting notes. 1 second.
No, the real fucking plot twist is when we realized Shane's the cult leader at the end of this dungeon, and he's like, "You fools!"
As we speak, he's turning Lawrence.
That's right. Lawrence
Yep.
is the dead one, the unsuspecting guard.
Rip
Real
Lawrence.
shame.
Yeah, it's like Lawrence is helping him load stuff into the cart, and he's like, "All right, that's all of it." And he turns around, and just gets his throat slashed by Shane.
Nothing personal.
This cold, dead expression on his face.
Hey, Paul.
He's
86.
wiping the blood off on his shirt. His face covered in blood.
Fucking Death Note 86 flashbacks of Shane wrecking his own apartment. I knew they'd fall for it.
Those fools. So sympathetic, so empathetic.
Somewhere in another campaign, a wizard's like, that takes me back.
Shane's planting the oversized rodents in his own farm.
Yep.
Wait a minute.
Starts cutting back like a Saw movie.
Hey, Paul. Hey, Lawrence.
Everything starts clicking together. He
God.
he lured the giant snakes.
The truth is, I was the Iron Duke from the start.
I feel like this should all be happening to the theme music from Saw.
I can't play that. I'll get copyrighted.
Yeah. I want to play a song.
Like, who owns Saw? Like, fucking Sony just drops through your fucking ceiling?
Somebody who would copyright strike me in the middle of the stream. Like,
Exactly. Just like immediate, we are experiencing technical difficulties. Stream offline.
yeah, stream offline. You've been hit with 3 copyright strikes somehow in one go. Your channel is banned. No! Especially because we're about to hit 2.1K, baby! Woo! Insanely quick, I might add. We just got 2K. Like,
It's
it's insane.
in shame.
Shut the fuck up.
I thought you liked puns.
I like them when I make them.
That's the problem with puns, though.
If somebody else makes them, I hate it. Somehow all of my art gets uncommissioned. Holy fuck. Yeah, that's when I go postal. Like, you
Art
take away
gets
my art?
Jesus.
I am waiting until the first game with Brett before I do that, Zebus.
Why?
To show them that I am collaborating with other streamers in
Oh.
greater numbers than I was before.
Wow. Is that a thing they take into consideration?
Yes. That you are a part of the streaming community.
A singular community?
One whole
We're a
community.
family.
To the players, why are you in my home causing some trouble? Tatsuya's home is Site 05.
Oh, well, see, Henry, your basement sucks ass.
Dude, this is a basement? What the fuck?
Yo.
Dude, I hate it here, bro.
Well, technically we're deputies, and I believe we had probable cause, but you know,
Deputies.
and we were deputized.
God damn, you're right.
We are the law. You suddenly get the cowboy hat.
Suddenly pulls a gun from nowhere. You know how to use that thing? No.
I saw other people shoot it, though. Shoots Kellen. Oh, fuck.
Oh, that does more damage than I thought. No wonder they use these things.
Seem to be a target of somebody's ire here.
Now you're just punchable. You're there. You're the straight man, which makes hitting you all that much more fun.
The straight man?
Yeah, the straight man.
Could you use a...
and a
Go on.
like
in comedy, not like your sexual alignment. Jesus Christ.
I'm trying to figure out like what you meant. I'm like, there's
Sexual
all
alignment?
I have chaotic, chaotic.
I'm not
state.
bullying you
Sexual
because you're
alignment
straight.
chart.
That's
Chaotic
right.
hetero.
That's right.
Neutral bisexual. Oh.
Could you use a Clockwork Soul Sorcerer to tell the time? I do not know. I don't know jack diddly squat about Clockwork Soul Sorcerers, I'm afraid.
I know that if you're making a Sorlock, Clockwork Soul Sorcerer is the subclass you want to be for meta, for some reason.
I am the law. Chaotic straight, neutral ace.
Jesus.
I'm just reading what people are saying.
Shut up. Stop it. Stop reading what they're saying.
Lawful gay.
It's chat. They have nothing useful to say anyway.
That's mean. Apologize.
No. It's chat. They don't deserve apologies.
Dude, we got a good chat,
It's
though.
It's a conglomerate, an entity. It's a blob with a million voices
It's a good
screaming
chat,
into the
though.
night.
It's when you say shit like that
No
that they
such
devolve.
thing as a good chat. Never seen it.
These are the same people you talk to in Discord.
And?
I mean, yes,
Is that
and...
supposed to convince me?
Uh-oh. Do we have 1 minute remaining?
Yes. Jesus.
See, Octonus.
To the party. If you run into a tentacle monster in here, what would be your first action?
I feel like...
I can't see anything, but it sure sounds disgusting.
Define the tentacle monster.
Oh god, Yuria!
What? Tentacle monster is very generic, and I don't think that's in the bestiary.
Appendages with different attachments.
That's even more obscure.
Phrasing.
I don't think there's any way to answer this that isn't suggestive.
Like, ooh, I would go the opposite direction as I am a small goth woman.
I'd fuck it.
You would.
Is everybody back?
Throw it back.
Oh,
In the
God.
air now.
I'm here.
Here.
Silo Real?
Remember when they were like, why so long?
Silo Real?
Remember when I also said, even with that, still late?
She feeding the dogs? Somebody disconnected. Who did it? Who
What?
left Foundry?
Not me.
I just refreshed. Like 2 seconds ago.
That must have been what it was. Silo Real?
Damn.
Ah,
Oh
Welcome
my
back.
god. She wandered off in real life.
You all would hear, well, everybody but Ashilde and Alaric, who is transfixed by a rotted chest, would hear the retreating steps of chainmail. This is the time where you talk.
Eerie, parking up, looks behind.
Morana kind of moves over and looks out.
I don't think I see Silveril.
What?
Dear. I think we've overstayed our welcome. Why are you moving back?
I'm staying with the lantern.
Ah. Iria about to walk out and then like sort of side eyes Marana and then shakes her head and steps out.
I will try to follow.
You gotta tell me when to stop, DM.
Keep going. That sound is getting further and further away.
Iria takes a moment to look down this hallway, see if she can see a Siluril. Does not.
Does not.
I see her fairy ass right here.
Will.
You would not see her there.
What?
Just because she's on the map doesn't mean she's there.
I thought I had field of vision.
No. She's down the hallway. What do you mean full vision?
There you go.
Field of vision.
Field of vision.
Yes.
Can't see around corners, brother.
Okay, but I thought this being a wall, the game sort of defined it as an opening, so maybe he could see her there.
No, she's down. She's gone. You're
Would he hear
following
the
sound.
of her?
Actually, why don't you roll me a perception check? You're the only one who didn't.
Very well. I can do this.
You would. You would hear the retreating sound sort of echoing from this hallway.
Alaric, leading in, he waves the group over and quickly hurries after Siluril. He is
Alaric.
running, by the way. He's not
Alaric.
walking.
This could be another trap.
Pausing, he turns around, hand to the wall. What do you mean, Alaric? Siluril is walking off.
Yes, I know, and we need to go get her, but don't go running in. I don't know what caught her eye, but they're right. Let's make sure we don't lose sight of each other.
Then keep up.
Peering around the corner, Alaric, you would see her about 30 feet into the hallway, just stepping along.
he would call out her name.
How loud?
I mean, it's 30 feet, so it'd be more like a beckoning than a scream.
How loud?
How loud? What, you want me to give you this decibels or something?
Scale of 1 to 5. 5 being the loudest.
He'd be aiming for a 3, but it's Alaric, so we're gonna put a fat 4 on that.
Cool. Siluro, as you're walking, that suggestion fades. And you realize where you're standing.
Come back.
You're in a very narrow corridor.
Wait. Did you all figure out what was going on?
Did we figure out where were you going? What are you doing? We said we'd stay together.
Wait. Her brows kind of furrow together, like, we did say that.
He seems perplexed.
You don't know why you walked away.
I was watching the hallways. I didn't want what was in the shadows to sneak up on us.
Alaric is staring at her expression with rapt attention, and as she explains herself, his look grows more searchingly, like confused, trying to figure her out as though it were a riddle. Just come here. Come on. He's short of grabbing her, kind of like leading a hand behind her and waving her along back to the group.
You would see her like vision linger on this hallway as they walk away from it, almost like she looks very perplexed as to why she was there in the first place.
There's like a strange longing at the back of your head. You just can't place it though.
Something. I am not sure. All I know is I wanted to go that way.
Could have told us. Said something.
You're right, I could have. But it did not even cross my mind.
By the time she's saying this, he's looking at Yuria.
Yuria is staring back with her arms folded, her expression unreadable in the mask, but then you hear her speak. It just made sense at the time, didn't it? As you walk to your doom.
Do not patronize me.
I'm not.
Laurel rolls her eyes.
I felt something similar before I was petrified.
It is how she speaks. Everything sounds patronizing. But it sort of makes sense. You were wandering off alone.
We need to make a concerted effort not to lose track of each other in this place.
Have we searched for everything in that room?
Everything except the grates Ashilda mentioned.
Well? What do you want to do, Ashilda?
Ashilda?
One second. Little girl's awake. Okay, what?
Repeat your question.
Is there anything else you'd like to do in that room, Ashilda?
Not particularly. I mean, I was in there. I I got the markings and everything like that, so maybe it might be useful wherever we go in here. But I agreed that fiddling with the crystal wasn't wise, so not really. We can go. We can continue ahead if you wish.
Right?
Maybe,
Ice.
maybe we shouldn't go down that corridor just yet. I mean, if it's like Kyria said and something wanted us to go down there, maybe we should hold off for the time being. There's another passageway that way.
She points down here.
Agreed. I wanted to see where the ghouls came from.
There's a room back there. At least it looked like it. Lots of broken things and such.
We can leave it for last, so as to not seem predictable.
In that time, Cyril would have put the ghouls in this area. Just rested next to each other with their arms and their eyes, or their arms crossed and their eyes closed.
Understood.
And having no gold coins, there would be no coins out there, right?
Yeah, that's a lot of gold.
Cause you're a poor bitch, so you know.
Can you use copper coins or something?
How about whittled wood?
What are you guys doing?
I think we've overstayed our welcome here. I agree. Let's relocate.
I
I would really like to revisit this corridor when we can.
We could tell. So, similar rank then.
Dylan and I will bring up the rear since we have the lantern.
I would rather have you at the front.
As it's been pointed out, my light is not wanted, so I should probably stay to the back.
Well, given that you've blinded our friend Kellen, how about you go at the front, Yuria? You do have the best eyes